Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. I'm your host, Quan59, and we are in our second season of Unnamed Sports Show starting today, September, Labor Day. Shout out to all the mothers that have given birth. This day is for you.
I don't think that's what it's for. I think that's Mother's Day.
Got my man Death Star Dave in the building. What's good?
Just happy to be back, ready to talk. No basketball today, folks. No basketball.
Thank the Lord.
Wow, you hate basketball. And we got my man. He lives by this nickname, Project Neon, just in time. Joshua Williams in the building. What's good?
I'm just still trying to figure out. We've got seasons.
This is season 2. Hey,
So we're like Ellen. We shut down.
If you take a month off, when you come back, it starts a new season.
Yes, Josh, we're a lot like Ellen.
Fair. There it is.
Yeah, a lot like Ellen. I don't know.
How much?
I don't know.
I just know that her new season starts like tomorrow. So that's the only reason why I even made the reference. But
I'm glad you know that.
it was on.
No
It
idea.
was commercial.
It was on what? Your Flipboard?
No,
What?
ABC. What channel did she come on? I don't even know. I was scrolling. It came on during Miami yesterday.
Deflection.
It's the only reason I know. Came on during
Deflection.
Is what it is.
I don't know. Josh knows a lot about pop culture, so we're going to get into some pop culture today. But first, we're going to be talking about the NFL. A lot of good stuff going on in the NFL. Week 1 starts in 2 days, so a lot going on there. Things we won't be talking about today. Josh gets mad at this segment right here.
Yes.
Things we won't be talking about today. The U.S. Open. Tennis, I mean, you only got to watch like the first, the last 2 games.
Okay, all right.
2 matches.
Two games.
2 games. Last 2 tennis games.
Pulling a huff.
Last 2 tennis games.
Man, I don't know.
Your soccer game.
We won't really be talking about Major League Baseball because not many people care. We'll get to that soon. It's coming up.
It's
coming up to where it's going to
give me 1 month of baseball.
Listen,
one.
There's still like 65 games left in the season.
There's not that many. It's literally 20.
I don't know.
It's a pennant race.
It feels like 60.
It's September call-up time.
We won't be talking about J.R. Smith is in court for throwing his phone. A fan's phone. No one cares. Lakers buyout Luol Deng. Doesn't matter. He hasn't played in 3 years.
You want to talk about that one?
No.
That could be talked about another time.
Yeah, we can skip NBA. I think we have enough to be able to skip the NBA. But things we are going to talk about is things happening in the NFL. We have some rap beef. People are asking, is this the first ever all white rap beef with Machine Gun Kelly going back at Eminem? So we're going to talk about that today.
Ooh.
Think about that.
I got to think. No, it can't be the first.
Probably not.
Eminem again.
Okay. We'll get to that. But jumping into it, there was a huge major trade this weekend in the NFL. Jumping?
I caught the reference.
You
didn't even realize that you had done it.
I didn't even do a reference.
You did. I'll come back to it later.
Okay.
When we get back to the rap beef.
Okay. Okay. Jump. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
That a boy. Good job.
Atta
Good
boy.
job.
Man, but Khalil Mack, Raider fans are going crazy, and we're going to talk about this today because I'm not sure if it's necessarily as bad as it seemed when it first happened. Raider fans wanted Mack re-signed. I personally wanted Mack re-signed. For the money that he got the contract extension for, that's what we're going to talk about today. Raiders gave up Khalil Mack in a 3rd-round pick, I believe, or is it a second round pick.
But
they
in
got
2020.
back in 2020, they got back 2 first-round picks, which could be very good.
A 3rd round.
A 3rd round and a 6th-round pick.
Right, but they also gave up a 5th.
Did they give up a 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they have there's some conditional picks in there.
Those later
like,
ones, that's a lot of flyers.
Yeah, it just depends on.
But I mean, the biggest ones obviously is the 2 first-round picks, and the fact that over the next 6 years they're saving $141 million.
Yep.
True, But at the same time, who are you taking with these picks? And are they anywhere near as good as Khalil Mack?
We're getting this now.
We're jumping right into
All
this
right,
Khalil
all right.
Mack
All right,
because
so I'm ready. I'm ready for Dave.
Personally, I think this is a terrible move by them. Well, one, it's a terrible move that they let it get this far. As soon as Donald signed
too
for that
late.
money,
It's too
was
late.
too late because he wanted similar money.
Yeah.
If they would have stepped up and given him some kind of contract before that, I think they could have locked him up in the $90 million range with a decent
Wow.
deal.
Did you see that? Did you see Gruden come out and say basically that they had made an offer to him? This is like way back earlier in the process, and basically, but it was nowhere approaching where the Bears were willing to go. So I mean,
But the Bears deal only came about after
after the fact,
after Donald.
after the fact,
You know, which I mean, the defensive player of the year, reigning one, got paid.
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, Mack is also great.
and Mack's getting paid more than him now, right?
No, Mack's still getting paid.
Is it less?
no, Mac got paid more. He has more guaranteed money. Like
is.
I think by $3 million. It ain't.
Yeah, he
it's-
has
we're
more
splitting
guaranteed
hairs.
money, less overall money.
I think so.
It is what it is. It's all close. I just think you only get so many transcendent players. Mack is that level.
Yeah.
He is a truly great player. To let go of a truly great player when they could have made this deal happen earlier and they just tried to dance around with it. And every report seems to be that Gruden had no communication.
But also at the same time they were trying to put out there because Gruden to his point, he did come out and clear everything up yesterday. He basically jumped ahead of it, like, because I think, well, he didn't jump ahead of it. He was behind, but he wanted to make sure everybody was clear. And basically he was, this was a full decision from everyone, not just him. It wasn't like it was like everyone's acting as if he's the GM and he's not the GM.
But the thing with John Gruden coming in there, everyone said that he runs things.
Yeah.
And that was part of his deal, even though he's not necessarily technically the GM.
Title, the title.
Like he got power. When you sign a 10-year contract to be the coach, you get a lot of power with that 10-year contract.
I would hope so.
And I know he's saying all this now because they have to present a united front.
Yeah.
But all the word popping out initially was that their GM McKenzie and even that clown Davis both felt that there was money. Somehow they were going to have money to sign Mack.
Yeah.
And Gruden just had no interest in doing it.
But what Gruden did come back and say was that these type of deals, you look at Donald, you look at now Mack with Chicago. These deals are much easier to sign two guys on that level or one guy on that level when you have a quarterback that's on a rookie pay
Correct.
scale.
I mean, that's how you do it.
Whereas with Donald in LA, Jared Goff, he's what 3 years from getting paid. With Trubisky, now he's 4 years from getting paid, so they have time to make those kind of moves or make those kind of deals.
If Trubisky's even the type of quarterback you're going to pay.
Exactly, but whereas
some people seem to love him.
well, no, I mean we'll see. This is a very important year for him.
Yeah.
But whereas with with the Raiders, they've already signed their guy. They've already signed Carr. So with that said, to put both of them out there, you already have after trading Mack, they have the oldest roster in the league already.
Yeah.
So in terms of years, so to do that, with an old roster and then still trying to bring people in or trying to make sure you draft well, it's, I don't know. I mean, I basically I voiced my opinion a little bit yesterday in our group, and I know Dave and I always we're either on the same page or we're completely we're Russian
very rarely
we're
on the
Russian
same page.
America. No, sometimes we have our moments where I'm like I completely agree with Dave, and then there's
Yeah.
other times where I'm like Jesus, Dave, no. Not this time. I'm putting my feet down.
And wait till we get to college football today. You're not going to be agreeing at all.
Well, it happens. Dave had a rough time with Michigan too.
Yeah, you are not kidding.
All right. But with this trade, like you said, Carr already got signed, so it's hard to sign
Two max people.
You can't have two players like
Yep.
that signed. And
Cap's not big enough.
the rumor was that they had offered him $20 million a year, and I think he's about 23 something a year
Right.
Yeah.
with this contract.
It's close.
It's hard, and like you said, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. In football, though, you need a whole team.
Yes,
True.
you do.
And one player is going to make a difference. They're not going to make a huge win-loss difference like that.
They're not a 4-game difference in the win column.
Exactly.
They're
Of course.
just not.
And
that's why you pay quarterbacks and you don't pay other
Defenders.
players as much.
And that's why that's the one thing I agree about with this deal was as good as Mac is, they were a bad defense with him.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay him that much and it straps you from being able to improve any of the rest,
Then you're stuck.
I get
you're
it.
stuck twice.
I mean,
And if he's on a team with a weak defense, is he going to be playing as hard? Is his contract's worth?
I think he's gonna be playing as hard, but like I said, with that kind of money, I need you to go out there and get 15 sacks a year.
Yeah.
You come in with 10, 12, and it's like, dude, we're paying you $100 million. No. I need more. Because to pay that much, that's like paying Brady or paying Peyton Manning, paying someone where it's transcendent, where you are really changing the game. And if you're just a very good player, I'm not going to pay you. I'd rather trade you and get 2, 3. Because remember, those picks, if those are high picks, this is the Bears, you can trade back again. Now we have multiple first-round picks. If you're smart about it, you don't really have just 2 first-round picks. You might get 4. You know what I'm saying? And so that's look, I look at it like Madden. That's how I would do it on Madden. Oh, you don't want to play? Oh, okay.
And with the Raiders coming here in 2 years, they have 2 more seasons out there. They have to prepare almost even more than this year and next year. They have to prepare for their move to Vegas because they have to they can't come to Vegas with a 3-13 record.
Half step.
They just can't. So I think they have to build a team for Vegas, and I know you probably got something on that. And talk about that before we get to what impact this does for the Bears side of this trade, because I think they now have one of the best defenses in the league. So go ahead,
I just think it's more examples that I think Gruden will be a disaster. I think he's a clown. You don't pay a guy $10 million a year to come down from the booth. And even his last few years in Tampa, he wasn't good.
That. Yeah, we've talked about that.
So, I mean, he had good years. More of his good years were with the Raiders originally.
Yeah.
And
he
I know
had 2 good years with Tampa, really. And then after that, he was skating on name.
And everybody said, even Raider fans admit that he inherited Dungy's team when he got that Super Bowl in Tampa. So,
and I mean, this guy has made more Hooters commercials than football decisions. I mean, realistically, why? Especially when you're a team that really doesn't have money. The Raiders don't have outside money.
No, they don't.
All these other teams, it's like billionaires, and they have a lot more money to play with.
Yeah.
Well, billionaires that were real billionaires. The Raiders have a billionaire that's the son of someone that basically got all of his money.
But even then, you look at it the same way. He's paying for $0 of the stadium. He really doesn't have money. All the money they have goes basically back into putting the team. I mean, it's certainly not going to a barber. Yeah. That we know for sure. But I mean, I just think to hire Gruden, one, is a mistake. To give him a ton of power and a long-term thing where you're like, we're really committed to you.
Well, you're stuck.
It's worse.
You can't move.
I mean, I'm sure everyone else has seen all the same stuff I have, with all his stuff on ESPN, like his QB camp stuff. It's like, did that make you feel encouraged about hiring him? That would make me say, stay away from this clown forever. Come on.
Dave,
so you're not a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders' new coach?
I would say if they're lucky, he's such a disaster that he doesn't make it to Las Vegas.
And that's a possibility.
That won't happen.
Well, no, and of course that won't happen because the problem is
the whole 10 years isn't guaranteed, right?
He's the fame.
I don't think the 10 years is guaranteed.
It won't matter. Here's what I'm saying is he will definitely be here for Las Vegas because for whatever reason, he's considered famous, and people in Las Vegas know who John Gruden is.
That's right.
They don't know
of all the coaches. But think about the coaches that are still left in the NFL right now.
But also think of the Raiders team. How many people in Las Vegas can name 3 Raiders? You lost Khalil Mack, so there went 1.
Yeah.
Carr.
Crabtree's not there anymore.
Crabtree is not there anymore.
Still got Amari
Cooper. Wait. By the way, same agent as Khalil Mack.
Oh no.
Yeah. That hurts.
Oh, I didn't know
That'll
that.
be a problem.
Good job. Our research is better than yours.
That'll be a problem.
Our Dave is better than yours.
Well, no, I looked it up the other day because I was like,
don't give it away.
What other Raiders? Well, it's not like I know whose agent is out there. But no, it's like, what other Raiders share the same agent? And it's like Amari Cooper.
Who else? Is there anyone else?
Dave is the only one of any consequence.
Okay. All right. But Amari, Marshawn Lynch, Do they still have Donald Penn? I feel like they still have Donald Penn on their line. They've made some trades.
They've
I used to
let
know- I
some
used to know
players
some of
go
their-
too.
Yeah, I used to know some people in their secondary.
AJ McCarron.
I feel like they still have.
They got new quarterback, new backup.
I feel like they still have Emerson from the Redskins.
Was McCarron the Bills' best quarterback? Because Peterman's starting on Sunday.
Peterman starting. Josh Allen is going to be a bust.
Now, is Peterman better than McCarron?
You feel like Josh Allen's gonna be a buzz?
100%.
He looked good.
He has a big arm.
All right, we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's get back to this trade, and let's talk about the Bears side of this trade.
Sure.
Because like I said, this to me puts them easily top 5 defense in the NFL.
Defense. Well, look. I'll put.
Well,
it
and
to
that's
you-
the problem. Is their offense going to be able to carry that defense to where those first-round draft picks aren't as high as they could be?
That's true, but I'll put it to you like this: when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, they had tremendous special teams, a defense that was impenetrable, and they survived Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
That was really their. So I mean, now granted, when that happened, there was also an aging Brett Favre there. The Vikings were up, down, all over, and the Lions were the Lions. So I mean, so it was a little bit different in terms of the geography of their division. But the Bears, I mean, look, when you have a great defense, you can get by as long as Trubisky isn't giving games away. If he's serviceable, they can get by.
And there are, I'm not necessarily one of them at all, but there are a lot of people who have a lot of belief in Trubisky making a big jump this year. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't really seen the evidence.
He looked okay last year, though, right? As a rookie, he looked okay. He didn't look bad.
He had some real rough games, some real rough stat lines. Which I mean, he was a rookie, he was considered raw coming in.
Well, did they bring anyone in to help him? I don't remember who they
not
drafted.
really. I mean,
if they ain't bring nobody in,
they stacked up that defensive side. Well, the other thing you have to remember too is, I mean, their division is tough. There's not a bad team in that division. I mean, Detroit's the worst team in that division.
Yeah,
they're not bad.
Yeah,
and when you look at the whole NFC, the NFC as a whole is stacked. When we get to talk about the prediction stuff later, the NFC's got a lot of good teams. The AFC, not so much.
Yeah. And I want to jump to Facebook comments real quick on the Raiders and Gruden. My man Cream, what's the point of first-round picks if you're terrible at drafting? They got
It's true.
two firsts for Gruden, too. How'd that work?
That's the truth.
And then Gruden, the coach, has always been good. Gruden, the GM, has always been the problem. He's MJ level bad. I don't know if anyone's that bad. Oh, gosh. It's a G. We'll talk about that in the basketball segment. That's not
that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and then
I'll wait you out.
My man Richard Gruden did not win a playoff game his last 5 seasons as a coach.
No, that's true. That's true.
So you're giving this guy who hasn't he won a Super Bowl off someone else's team and hasn't done much else, and you're giving him a lot of power.
But you put his goofy bowl cut on billboards all around town.
But let's be fair. He also got his own team basically to the precipice of the Super Bowl without a Tom Brady tuck rule creation that then spawned Tom Brady. It might be a whole different ball game. So I mean, let's not act like John Gruden was trash. He was a very good young coach, really, when he first started.
He was initially,
But
then when he got to be a famous coach,
things got different.
Off.
Well, because then he started to believe his own hype a little bit too at the same time, which does happen.
Yeah.
When he started making commercials, it was all downhill from there. The coach should not be making commercials.
That was after. That was once he went to the booth.
He was making commercials while he was still coaching.
Not anywhere on the clip that he's on. Well, at least he's calmed that down though. I haven't seen him recently.
It's because nobody's looking for him. Because everybody heard him talk enough in the booth. They're like, this guy's an idiot.
He was decent. I'm worried for Monday Night Football now.
Really?
But
who took his place?
Well, Joe Tessitore. Joe Tessitore is the new. Sorry, I always forget that child's name. You come on in, brother. You good? We didn't check your mic though. Your mic's not checked.
We got it.
But
what's up, son?
I'm trying to remember who the player is.
Go ahead and sit right there.
It's Booger McFarland. Booger McFarland's in the booth. Joe, and then who's the? I feel like they have a 3-man booth though. It's not just the 2 of them.
I don't remember. I thought maybe they had a sideline. I don't care. It's Monday Night Football always has bad matchups. Half the time if I'm watching it, I'm out with somebody anyway, and you're not hearing the sound from the game usually in those cases. So.
Drinking those little wine coolers you guys got today.
Would you like a wine cooler, sir?
For a Bud Light.
This segment is sponsored by Sparkling Cosmopolitan.
Don't give them no props.
Yeah, don't no credit.
Yeah,
No credit.
Not just
I
because
don't
they're
know.
not a sponsor, but because it's terrible.
Listen,
Wasn't
we
very
had to give
good.
very light alcohol after the NBA draft show. Our first show allowing alcohol on the scene. But, we're talking about NFL right now, the Khalil Mack trade. We have college football we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about some pop culture, Eminem versus the industry, and then Machine Gun Kelly clapping back. It was a light clap. It was a golf clap
Sounded
back
one
today.
hand
So we're
clapping.
going to talk about that. Did he do good? Did he come at Eminem? Have you heard it? Has everyone heard it? We'll talk about that soon.
Oh.
Teaser. This is season 2, Josh. Teasers matter.
Segment 37.
Segment 37. Teasers matter. And now we got my man all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, the 702. Pull that mic down a little bit. My man Marcus Marshall in the building. Singer, songwriter. I think I've known you for what, 12 years, 15 years? It's been a minute.
10 plus.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, like 10 plus, I think.
Used to record in this studio that used to be in a garage, but same studio, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good, Just living.
Just living.
Just living.
Now, he's connected with the NFL too, in a way. And you know what? His favorite team, I give him props for it. What's your favorite squad, bro?
49ers.
49ers.
All day.
Oh, then no
Of
wonder.
course, there's no reason not to give him props for his team.
I mean, listen, Jimmy Garoppolo, what do you think about Garoppolo?
Man, I think if he just keep his head on his shoulders, start choosing his women a little bit more.
Snap, he
little
went
bit
straight to the women.
I mean, that's the latest
particular.
news.
As I'm joking though, but Jimmy looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a good preseason. I watched
All
every highlight.
Yeah, all I can say is it's from the guys I know on the team, shout out to Corey. It's a lot of life in that building because now they feel like they have some more missing pieces.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for Sherman to have a great year, and another winning season. Well, no, not another. Let's get a winning season.
It's been a while since we've had one.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Please correct.
Another one in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it hasn't been that long since 49ers have been in the Super Bowl. What was that, 13, I believe?
Yeah.
I think that was 2013.
12, 13?
12. Yeah, it was around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2012. 2012, I feel like.
Yeah.
Dad, that's been a long time. No, excuse
How
me.
long has it been since the Redskins have been in there?
Stop, chill. I mean, like that's been longer than you think. Like it feels like that was just yesterday, but
Yeah.
Deer Antler Juice has been a minute because Ray Lewis just got in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, that
Yeah.
would be.
He said deer antler.
That's been a long while. That's been a minute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So
think about it
who
that
are you
way.
wearing today, Josh, by the way?
Sonny Jurgensen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went to the archives for that one. Man, went to the NFL films.
You leave Sonny J alone.
Hey, I'll give you props on it. But my man Marcus, man, I actually brought him in the studio today because I think we want to talk about one of our favorite personalities. One of Dave's favorite TV personalities,
Yeah.
Jason Whitlock. And you had put something on Facebook about him, and it's something that we talk about him on the show quite often. Anytime he says something stupid, which is daily,
Inflammatory.
we seem to bring up some of his stuff. Some of his stuff isn't even worth talking about. A lot of his stuff isn't even worth talking about, to be honest, because he's one of those people you just try to ignore. But sometimes people say things you just can't ignore, and you have to address it. And I know, you had a little Facebook rant about it. And your brother plays in the NFL. He's been in the NFL for what, like 6 years now?
Yeah, since 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall for the Denver Broncos. Part of that amazing defense that won the Super Bowl a few years ago. So, man, tell us about your rant. And I think people that know who Jason Whitlock is kind of know what he's about, too. You know, I mean, he says things that are controversial, I think, just to get, his name out there. I don't even think he believes most of the stuff he used to say. I think he's starting to believe it now. Because once you start saying something over and over again, you finally get sucked into that belief system.
It works for Fox now too.
Yeah,
Drips over.
exactly. So, what are your thoughts on this, bro? And just kind of give us a synopsis of where that came from for you.
Well, this rant, I don't rant too often. I feel like it's been a lot more than I used to. But this particular interview that Jason Whitlock gave for this particular that started my rant.
Yeah.
Jason Whitlock was on Fox News and he was speaking about how all athletes are addicted to social media, and the only reason that the NFL players are taking a knee and other, instances of what's the word, peaceful protests are taking place is so that they can grow their social media following.
Yeah.
That there's no heart behind it, that there's no reason behind it. They just want to become more popular, more prestigious on social media, help their brand or whatever. And I don't know, maybe it was that just really rubbed me the wrong way. Rubbed me really the wrong way. Especially
coming from somebody that, like, we know his stuff. I personally know who he is because of social media, because his videos being posted up.
He has more to gain. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good.
But he has more to gain. I'm getting pissed all over again. He has more to gain from branding social media than these NFL players do.
Amen.
Definitely.
It's not like we knew who Jason Whitlock was prior to him being on whatever show he was on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, and he only gets out there because every once in a while he winds down on whatever the last inflammatory thing he says.
He's doubling down on
everybody.
it. Yeah, he's doubling down on it, and that's my thing. It's like, okay, you being a black man, and first that drives me through the roof, because now all of a sudden everything you say is anti.
Yeah.
Anti everything.
It's like he wants to go against the grain purposely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you had some choice words for him. What'd you call him? You can say it.
Called him coon.
Yeah.
He cooning. He tap dancing, he jigabooing, he doing all of that.
Didn't give him the jigaboo though.
Honestly.
Snip snap.
Honestly.
I mean, and your brother famously was one of the players that one of the original kneelers, if you want to say.
Yeah, Colin.
Because him and Colin went to school together.
Yep, UNR.
They've been friends for a long time. So tell us about that, because even experiencing that, I remember watching you on social media the night that happened. So just tell us about that, even the backstory of how all that went down.
I really don't have a backstory because he didn't tell me before he did it.
Yeah.
So
did he even know he was going to do it, or was it just okay?
Is he still been progressively kneeling, or has he stopped? For the preseason games, him and Demarius have been staying in the locker room because that's the new rule. Oh, okay, so it's just easier to stay in the locker room.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So no, it's not easier to stay in the locker room. That's the new policy.
Some people are still kneeling out on the field.
I think some players have.
A few. Because I want to say Marshawn sat down, like he usually sits down.
That's Marshawn, though.
Marshawn just does his own thing.
Yeah.
But
that ain't not a protest. It's easier to eat Skittles sitting down.
Hey, real talk, Marshawn sat for the national anthem and stood up when they played in Mexico. He stood up for the Mexican
anthem. Yes, he did. He stood up for the Mexican
that's
anthem.
Funny.
That's the ultimate.
That boy is an ultimate troll.
But back on topic. That game, it was the first game of the season after they won the Super Bowl, so it was the Monday night game. He kneeled during the national anthem, and he got all the flack and everything for it. Colin had started it, and Colin was doing it during the preseason games. But it's nothing like that. Monday Night Football is the first game of the season. It's the only
everyone's
game that's
watching
on that night.
Yeah.
So, man, it just blew up. And so, fast forward, we all know everything that progressed, that has gone on until now.
And you're his older brother, so there's
absolutely.
That protective spirit you already got over him.
Oh, man, it's not. I'm older, but he's 6'2", 520.
He's 6'2", 520.
He's a little bit bigger than you.
Not 520.
Yeah. He's a lot bigger. He's a lot bigger, but I'm the one you got to worry about.
You'll still jump on him if it need be.
Man,
good stuff.
That's
what
I'm
talking about.
But long story short, throughout the season, Brandon had been meeting with the Denver police chief every week and still continues to.
Yeah.
Fast forward some more, Brandon's gotten awards from Harvard. And the biggest victory I'd say we've had in this battle is that the Denver Police Department rewrote their use of force policy.
Wow.
Now, if anybody knows what the use of force policy is, it's kind of the Bible. If as an officer, and I'm not an officer, but how I handle you, did I use excessive force? That's an issue. That's an issue. The answer always is I used a reasonable amount of force to subdue this suspect
or
Thank you.
perpetrator.
Yeah. because any other answer than that leaves room for interpretation and
Yeah.
issues. So the fact that they rewrote that whole policy,
It's huge.
That's major.
Yeah.
That's major. So
congratulations on that. That's great.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, really,
it wasn't it wasn't me, but that we feel like that's a little win in affecting change in an area that he is immediately in. Like
Yeah.
we'll
And
start
going
there.
back to the whole kneeling thing, that's what it's about. Changes, even if it's small changes,
Well,
those
that's-
small changes will add up into being something that could progressively grow.
32 markets.
And that's been our problem.
Yeah.
32 markets.
Yeah.
That's been our problem with the NFL not speaking up against it
Yeah.
and not doing something like, okay, we have enough people that have problems with this. Let's do something. Like, there's people that might not understand. This isn't for you then.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people here that do understand. So let's do something to help make a change in this controversy, in this thing that's been going on forever that we're just now seeing because of everyone having a camera, because of social media.
And the thing, and the last point I want to make is it burns me because when people say, and not just Jason Whitlock, it's when any person says, "Oh, they're just doing it for a show or
For
whatever."
whatever.
Yeah, what's the action behind it? And
Yeah.
I love giving out L's. I keep a pocket full of them. I keep screenshots and what is the word now? Receipts. Yeah, if you want to call it, of every award.
We need to
he
get some
has.
L's and start passing them out on the show.
Man, keep a pocket full because it's like, oh, he's only doing it for attention. Nope. Here you go. Denver rewrote their use of force policy.
Exactly.
Oh, well, he doesn't know he doesn't care what officers go through. Nope. He actually went in the training simulator where you get shot if you get shot. And there's
Wow.
he was on the news for that.
Wow.
It's a hilarious clip actually. He's opening up the conversation and he's continuing to have conversations and he's continuing to he's putting his money and he put his money where his mouth was. $300 a tackle last couple seasons ago. So
It's crazy.
yeah.
And that's the thing. People see like the small headline. They see 1% of what athletes are doing on or off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they judge everything off that little bit that was put up from a Jason Whitlock, from ESPN, from different media sites, from different social media. Even to the point, we've talked about this many times on the show, people don't even click anymore on the article. They just read the headline and go and have a whole entire theory of what happened off that one headline.
Well, true. And also remember, the people who write the article don't write the headline. So a lot of times people are getting stuck on clickbait that's not even their fault.
Yeah.
So it's like them as a writer, they're catching heat for it. It's like, I didn't write the headline. It's not my job.
Wow.
That's the editor's job.
Yeah. No, they have people who put those headlines up because they know what's going to get people to click on it.
Yeah.
Can I bring up another point of that? The gentleman that was on the Cosby Show, Jeff.
Yes,
Jeff
no,
Jeffries.
I just saw that.
I just was reading on
Yeah,
that on
he
the
was
way
working
here
at
while
Trader-
I was stuck in Project Neon.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was working at He works at Trader Joe's, and then some chick spotted him and
took a picture of him.
Yeah, and Fox News put it up. Jeff, I keep saying his name
It's
wrong.
Jeffrey Owens.
Yeah, Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Owens. I'm
Owens
sorry.
and his name was Elvin
Saunders'
Thibodeau.
husband.
Thibodeau.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
you
yeah,
with
yeah.
but you lost to me in the trivia. That's what I'm talking about.
When did that happen?
What? You just not even gonna take your L
You
like
lost
a man.
to Steve. I don't remember
lost to-
losing
no.
to you.
You
I
lost
didn't actually
to
lose
me
to Steve. I
one
lost
time.
to Sarah.
Lost to me one time.
Sarah lost
Never.
to Steve.
Maybe it was
Never.
Steve. No, but it was definitely Todd. I took Todd down twice.
Yeah. No, I had already lapped you on that one.
I don't know who started this conversation.
Not me.
All right.
I'll take Monique, and then I'll pan
Josh
the camera.
gets Monique. This is the last. This is the last show for Monique.
Take her home with you.
This is the last show for Monique. So yeah, whoever gets the chain, whoever has the chain on at the end of the show, takes the chain home. So if you guys don't know Monique, this is season 1. Anytime someone falls off topic, they get Monique.
Used to be a lot bigger. Josh broke it so many times.
I broke it, but I did fix
But
it.
okay, you keep saying you fixed it, but
Look, man, does it
removing
fall
links
off?
is not fixing
Does
it.
it fall off? Well, because I have the links to put back on.
There's at least 16 links missing.
Where are the links?
It's almost a choker at this point.
Hey, that's all right. It's a Mr. Teen chain in a minute, but I'm just trying to figure out where the links are. I told you I fixed it.
You're the one that took them off.
But I didn't throw them away.
I'll make sure I mail you the links.
hey, you feel free. I'll fix her.
So
Don't
next
worry.
week, the turnover
Social media
chain.
pic for Whitlock. Hold on. I got to take a social media pic to show Whitlock.
There we
Do
go.
it.
There we go.
So starting next week, the social media chain for season 2 is going to be multiple chains. Multiple chains. So me and Josh were walking downtown last week down Fremont Street, the street that our studio's on.
The long walk
To the plaza, which we might have some news about in the future, hopefully.
Yes.
Might be doing a lot of live remotes this year. But we walked down where I actually got that chain, and they have chains for every team pretty much. So what the chain's going to be, and this is going to convince people, because you guys fell in love with this chain too much.
I did. I love it.
You think you look really good with this chain.
I look smooth.
Everyone on your personal social media
That's
that
right.
you broadcast to compliment your chain.
That's right. They're
Let
talking
my
about
man be
Monique.
great.
They're like,
Let
you got Monique again. I'm like, she came home.
Dave secretly loves a chain. It brings back his childhood where he wanted to be a rapper.
That's
and,
right.
it just didn't happen. Steve,
Just missing the
Hello,
padlock.
Cool J. Oh no, you're gonna go. With...
Steve looks at the chain like it's candy. Todd's not here enough to even have ever worn the chain.
He has no convictions.
No
towards the chain.
convictions.
Towards the chain.
He's just making babies and getting married and having honeymoons for a year.
He's just out there loving Trump.
So now, wow, low blow.
Just come for her.
Well, truth
I don't know
hurts.
if he loves him. He cares a lot.
Seemingly.
So from now on, the chain is gonna be your least favorite sports team. So we're gonna have 5 or 6 chains up here.
I got a lot of those.
But this is gonna motivate you guys not to change the subject and not to turn over.
Lakers chain for you. Yeah.
Look. He hates it. It might
I hate
be.
it already.
Listen, this might be.
If it was a Buckeye one, I'd probably have to quit the show.
This might be Lakers on one side, Buckeyes on the next side.
Buckeyes. Then there you go.
I will never
then
be off
Josh-
topic. I promise you that.
The Cowboys chain is gonna be very easy for you.
Easy.
Well, who knows?
No,
I mean,
that's an easy chain. That I know that's the team I'm
They,
giving
might,
you.
be one
yeah,
of, they
yeah.
might be one of his favorite teams.
I hate you so much. I
He
hate
has so
everything.
many.
I hate everything about the Cowboys, sir.
They're not winning the Super
Everything.
Bowl. If they won the Super Bowl, he might
Then
flip.
we'll
He might
talk.
switch.
Who am I switching to? What teams am I flip flop
We
to? That are,
never know.
All of
We
my
never know.
Stop.
90s
all
Bulls?
of all of my teams have been
Cubs?
long suffering,
Cubs since
and they just
16?
now have
Wait,
started winning.
When you say I never know what team is coming after that.
List my teams, Dave. I just want you to list them.
Yankees.
No,
Cubs.
don't go Yankees first. The Yankees are literally. I love
are they
Jeter.
Not, are they not your favorite team?
I was a Jeter fan. I realized it once he retired. I was
Your
like,
Bulls?
you know what? I stopped caring.
Your Bulls.
Jordan, Pippen, and
Hey, you're-
really
it's
everybody
still
for the
shameful
Bulls.
since
Everybody for the Bulls.
You
But
claim
but
the whole DC area.
You're not
claim
going.
the whole area.
You're not
Neither
going
one of your
for-
favorite teams is the Orioles or the Nationals.
I don't care for them. I'm a Cub fan.
And a Yankee fan.
Not really a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee supporter. There's a difference.
Oh wow.
This is just a shameful display.
Not
by
really
you.
like when
So
the
you're
Yankees
not a
win.
Trump fan.
when
You're a
the-
Trump supporter.
No.
Now
no
isn't
negative.
a supporter even
No
bigger
negative.
than
That's
a fan?
different. No.
Wait, because if you're a fan
What?
of Trump, isn't that
Define
different than
what
a supporter?
fan is? See, you don't even understand. I started.
Oh, I don't understand.
I started a brand called the American Fan. Do you know where fan comes from? Do you know what it actually?
Fanatic?
Good job. Do you know what it means to be fanatical?
Yes.
To give one's life. That's what it means. You have to be that on fire.
So you're giving your life to
So
the
supporter-
Bulls, but
so-
then
so-
when Jordan
And then
left, you
give
quit
it
on
to
your
the
life.
Wizards.
No. Listen. I was
Man,
always a
that's a
Bullets
weird way to
fan.
change
I was
loyalty
always
like
I was always a Bullets fan. But
What?
the Bullets were trash.
Breaking news.
The Bullets were trash. They were not very good.
You know what? We all have to put up with a team being trash.
I was a child, and I love Jordan, and I loved his shoes. Sorry. Oh, you see,
All right.
he
Now,
who controls the sound effects controls the narrative.
something that we missed last season. Josh lost 2 bets, not 1 bet, but 2 bets for 100 push-ups each.
That's right.
No, whoa. 100 push-ups. Don't be trying to throw another 100.
It's 100
on me.
each.
Wait
for
a
both
minute.
bets.
Who agreed to 200
You
push-ups?
said
I don't recall that.
One, you said Isaiah Thomas was going to get 20 plus million. I
Yeah,
think.
20 plus million.
Oh,
I said,
damn, you're
I
right. That was
guaranteed
2.
you strong
That
on
was
that
2.
one.
And
That was 2.
the other one was
was
you
2.
said LeBron James was going to retire this year and take a
Yes.
year off.
Still could happen.
Oh gosh.
Still
They-
could happen.
By the way, 2 horrible bets. I mean, those are terrible bets.
Those.
And
You had no chance either way.
Wait. Isaiah Thomas, I had a chance.
No, you didn't.
I had a
he
chance.
wasn't getting 20 million anyway.
I had a chance.
If his hit didn't get bad, he wouldn't have been getting 20 mil.
Anyways, I feel bad doing this with a guest in the building, but
That's all right.
you got to give
I
us
don't.
25 increments
That's fine.
to get to your 100.
First one should be now, right?
Yeah, first one is now.
All right.
With the chain on.
Yeah.
With the chain on.
With the
All
chain
right.
on.
I mean, it's so heavy.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Jordan. Over
Okay.
Elo.
Yeah.
Cash money.
Keep that chain on.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so
Let's count it.
Dave, I'll let you go ahead and turn that camera. This one.
You can film me, sir, if you like.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Check my
you can
form.
film me. Where are you doing them at?
I'm doing them right
Okay.
here. It's all right,
No,
man.
not this one, Dave. Nope. Keep going. Keep
Are
going.
you
Keep
good?
going.
You got me?
Nope. The next
Hold on,
one,
you straight,
right
you straight,
there.
you straight? Oh, there you go. Okay, you got it? We good?
All right, 25 push-ups. Oh, he's doing those little baby push-ups.
8. Damn, buddy.
It's got short arms.
He has nibs.
That's 15.
13, 14.
22, 23, 24, 25. Just think, only 7 more.
Oh,
Talking to the mic, tell us how you feel.
let's see. All right, hold on. Get my stage props back together. Thank
Turn
you,
that
sir.
camera a little bit more, Dave. How do you feel, man? You out of breath
I feel
or what?
fine.
Are you sure?
Feel fine.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, we're always good. We stay ready to knock out 25.
Stay ready.
It's the next 50 that
Don't have to get ready, stay ready.
Stay
Make
ready.
me nervous. Next
Anyways,
50.
we're going to get back to what we were talking about before you interrupted and got the chain and reminded us that you have to do push-ups. What were we talking about? I know we're talking about my man Marcus Marshall, singer-songwriter. I think we might have a song to play for you guys in a little bit too.
Nice.
How's that been going for you, man? How's the music been going?
Music is music, man. I really love the success that I got off the first album. You know, the attention, the reviews that I got from the first album. It means a lot to me, not so much to be famous as it does to be great.
Yeah.
Right now we're just working on the second one. Like, I've been in the cave. I like being quiet. I never been the type to post every day or be outrageous or something. I hate clickbait. Right now I'm in the cave because this next album I feel like it can't be like the first. It can't be as good as the first. It's got to be better. So, yeah, I'm just now in the cave perfecting it.
Now, do you have a studio you record at, or you kind of just go everywhere?
Now I'm a nomad. I go where the work is. I used to have back I used to call it my formative years. I used to have like I had a Dell with a mic plugged into the back of it.
Yeah.
And it was a rough situation. But
Have to do what you have to do sometimes, man.
right. But then where I recorded this album, it was actually at Ultrium Studios in LA.
Okay.
Shout out
okay.
to Yanni. And 1500 and Nothing Studios. Shout out to the Futuristics. No, shout out to Mike and Keys.
Okay.
There you go. So I love Hollywood. I love California.
Yeah.
The vibe that I get recording in California is unlike anywhere else. So
It's dope, man.
Where else have you recorded in terms of like markets? Have you recorded in
And-
New York or?
New York, Atlanta.
Wow.
New York was actually my first big studio.
Okay.
New York, Atlanta, Florida, Texas, Oregon.
Oregon. Wow.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Just man, all around, everywhere, pretty much.
That's great.
It's dope. It's dope. So some more NFL, and you could, sit in with us, man. Talk about some sports. We're actually going to do our predictions for the season coming up in a bit. Real quick, I want to go to Le'Veon Bell. Still isn't with the Steelers right now.
Still hadn't signed.
Still hasn't signed.
You were about to say hadn't signed.
Signed,
you were
signed
good.
or reported.
Yeah, you were good.
So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I think he'll be there for game one. He's not gonna miss a game.
No,
I
because
hope
the
not.
game checks pay you. But he'll
860,000.
he'll take that franchise tag for the last time. But I my worry with him, and I know I'm not the first person to think this, is they'll get him in there on that franchise tag, and I may be bringing him up on something else later because they're going to run him into the ground. They are going to kill the rest of his career because they ain't paying him after this year.
I don't think they
Do
do.
you
that,
think?
though.
You don't think an NFL team would
Well,
do
they
that?
definitely would.
Somebody?
Do you think?
No,
Do you
wait.
think he'll let them?
Yeah.
What is he going to do? Not take carries?
Yeah,
He's a running back. He wants those carries.
Yeah, he wants the carries.
I'm hurt,
but
I can't play.
Well,
you still get paid.
True.
But he wants
True.
he wants the numbers that will, he's a great player. He wants the numbers that will come with it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And whether it's catches out of the backfield or carries,
okay,
he's going to get a bunch of touches both ways.
But you know what awakens when you do that though, right? Antonio Brown. So if you gonna give him the ball, then you gotta worry about Tonio over here. Like, hey, I'm not getting no catches. I'm not where my touches at.
No question. But you have to remember, Antonio Brown, if he gets 15 targets a game, which is a lot of targets,
sure, but that
normal still leaves an awful lot of touches.
True. But they still have Juju. They have plenty of people.
I get it, but it's also one of those. The NFL is vindictive.
No, but that's every league. I
and
told
they
you.
will-
I
they
told
will
you
run
what the
you
Pistons
into the ground.
did. I told you what the Pistons did to Grant.
Yeah.
I told you what they did. Like that's every league. Every
Yeah.
league is when they know that you have them, they're gonna try and ruin you.
Well, plus
as best they
he ain't
can.
coming back. This is it.
I really wish he would come back. I
No,
don't understand
There's
why.
just no way. There's too much bad blood now. You can't reconcile this anymore.
No reason for there to be bad blood. You're in a good situation. I just don't understand when people
It's
piss on good situations. Like, dude, you're in a good situation.
But it's a cruel league. It's a cruel league.
No, I get
he
that.
He wants to get paid for being the best. They refuse to give him the guaranteed years, which, I mean, as a running back, you can understand why a team doesn't do it because your career is short. But at the same time, you can't fault him because you got to get your money while you can get your money.
How much is he getting this year? Is it 12 or 14?
It's going to be like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this was his first year being franchised, right?
No, they franchised him before.
See, so this is his second time being franchised. So he's gotten already $24 million guaranteed off of 2 deals. That's almost where you're gonna be with a deal. Like that's the thing that I can never reconcile that because it's like keep franchising me. I understand that you don't have the long term, but you never have that with football. So if someone's gonna give you guaranteed,
You still have longer term than 1 year though. I think especially for a running back that's
for the running back, you know your career's short.
I get it, but he is still like very top of the league. Like it's not like he's gonna be in a situation where he's gonna go from 15 million to
but
no money.
let's say and hopefully not. Let's say he does tear something
True.
this year,
No,
ACL.
there is that side of it in football.
Then
there
he
is
doesn't
that
have
side.
any more money after that.
There's no security in football. I understand that, but
if
still,
you get a 4-year contract, you get at least 70% of that. You can try to guarantee that.
not always. Sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying. For a player like him, he could.
True.
He's going to
True.
have some guaranteed money there. You know what I'm saying?
He has to do his thing. The team has to do their thing. I mean, the team was already having to pay Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Not Bryant.
Sorry.
No. But they're
Brian's.
it's tough. There's
Do you remember Antonio Bryant? You don't
Yeah.
even remember.
there's no good answer. There's really no good answer.
Yeah.
Because if you do right by everybody, your team's going to be terrible.
No, it's true.
That's the tough part. I mean, it's just the way the structure is of the league, the fact that the Players Association has gotten crushed in every negotiation.
Yeah, they
over
don't
the
have,
years,
they don't
it's
have
just
good leadership.
They have no
At all.
strength whatsoever.
Tracy was bringing up the actual numbers. Like I believe the NBA makes like 6 or 7 billion a year. The NFL makes like 12 or 14 billion a year.
Well, and they get a big.
That's on down years.
Yeah, and but the NBA is rising, and part of that is because they look at their players as a partnership. The NFL looks at you as employees. Very easily replaceable employees.
No,
and now that they've
that's what I was
now
telling
that
her,
they've
too.
figured out, most teams at least have figured out the salary cap structure. The answer is always to let you go and try to pay somebody less to be maybe 80% of the player that you are.
So back to Khalil Mack.
I already told you I understand why they did it. I don't think it's a great deal.
I just had to catch you in your
Listen,
own stuff.
no part of me is going to say that John Gruden is smart with any of this. It may very well turn out to be the right decision.
Sure.
But they probably could have done things differently.
Very well could be the Rams and the Redskins, where the Rams did absolutely nothing with those picks.
Yeah,
nothing, and they had 3 of them.
But you look at the teams now. Everything unless you have Breeze, Brady, or Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a couple other exceptions. You're successful because you have a rookie scale quarterback, so you don't have to pay that big quarterback money yet. Look at Seattle. Seattle had those years of success. What started happening once they had to start paying Russell Wilson?
The second they had, and remember too, Russell Wilson had the the early deal because he wasn't the first rounder.
Correct.
So they had to jump on that money faster.
So, exactly. That's the thing. The getting paid more early, delays the amount of time before you get the big check later as a good quarterback.
True.
Yeah.
It's just like an NBA second rounder.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas, perfect example. He blew up.
I was talking. It was funny. We were talking about that on the coming back from the championship for the Big Three, and he came up, and they were just like, they're like, yeah, man, that's actually like if you actually are decent and you fall in the second round, you're in. Like, don't look at it like the only thing is fall to the right team. Now, if you fall to a bad situation where they don't really need your position and you can't really kill who's in front of you, then you're still stuck. But if you're a first round talent going the second round because you were messing around, Gilbert Arenas, they told me why he fell.
Or Draymond.
I was like, wow, yeah, Draymond too. But they told me why he fell, and I was like, oh wow, that's interesting to hear from like players. They were like, oh yeah, no, Gilbert was playing around in the symposiums and basically in all the workouts, he just felt like he was there.
Yeah.
And so they dropped him to the second round.
Wow, he really turned out to be a much better citizen once he got into the league, though, right?
Shoot, he did enough to get that $100 million.
That's right.
Even way,
after he brought the guns in.
Oh my goodness, they gave me the whole story on that. Oh,
okay, we got to get off of that.
Woo,
because I'm going to start talking about it again.
Boo Ray.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about that.
They told me about Boo Ray.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I'll let you know off air.
Like I said, I think the Bell thing is a no-win situation, but I think these teams are cold and they're calculated. Bell's going to want to look as good as possible, so that's more touches for him. But that's also them. They're going to run a season off of him, on top of the season he's going to play this year.
True.
And why wouldn't you?
He's going to get some.
He's
going to get the LaDainian Tomlinson treatment. 100%.
100%. I might be putting him in as long as he reports. He might be my pick on something later.
All right, now jump into some other NFL news. The Eagles announced that Nick Foles, will be the starter for Week 1 this season.
No quarterback controversy.
No controversy at all.
No.
Zero.
Well, it's only because Wentz isn't healthy enough.
That's right.
So when Wentz is healthy enough, let's say Nick Foles has a good year to start the year, and Wentz you don't think he will have a good year?
Well, A, I don't think he will, and B, there's no Carson Wentz, if he didn't get hurt, was the NFL MVP last year.
Definitely.
It wasn't even going to be a question.
Yeah.
He was running away with it.
The only reason that Brady got it, and Brady was really under protest.
Foles got very lucky in the playoffs. Not Joe Flacco level lucky, but lucky. And also getting the Super Bowl against one of the worst defenses to be in a Super Bowl, that Patriots D, who didn't even didn't play Malcolm Butler and still haven't explained why. So I understand that he won a Super Bowl with them. He won a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz's team.
Yeah.
He's a worse Jeff Hostetler, basically.
Whoa. It's harsh.
Foles was out of the league.
But he was a Pro Bowler. Jeff Hostetler was never a Pro Bowler.
I get all that, but Foles was done.
Wait, but you got to reconcile
was he done,
that.
or did he just need to get?
He was a Pro Bowler.
Did he just need to get his shot again?
No, I don't think he
just
needed
had
to
go
get
back to the Eagles again.
And I put zero stock into the preseason. However, they have not scored on any drive where he was the quarterback in the entire preseason. You at least want to put one in there just to.
But listen, we've talked about this. The Bills lost. I mean, they were like 0-4 almost every preseason that they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, preseason means 0.
Oh, no, they're
and that
a
was
good
definitely
team.
in a position where the preseason actually meant more.
I
feel like back
bit.
then, I feel like the preseason definitely meant more.
And they're talking about preseason dropping it. Jerry Jones is out there saying something smart finally. Dropping preseason to 2 games and having an 18-game season.
Well, but see, that's not smart.
That's not smart. That's making
worse.
More
That's
money.
more injuries.
That's more money for Jerry Jones.
I'd rather see meaningful games than.
We do not need more games. Drop it to 2 games and do not give us more games.
And just give
16. Us an extra bye week.
Hey, that too. And they still haven't figured out the bye situation. We talked about this last year. I've seen other shows talk about it, where if you're going to play the Thursday night game, you should be coming off a bye, right?
Oh, yeah. We did talk
100%.
And they still, this year, they still didn't fix that.
Or the situation with playing in London.
Yeah,
London,
that too. Yeah.
London, there should be some sort of something, like giving me Monday Night Football afterwards or something where I have an extra day to recover from that.
Yeah. Well,
That's
but
true.
you're operating like you're talking about a league that cares about its players in any way,
doesn't.
shape, or form.
Man,
You
it's
know,
crazy.
and that's one of the problems that a lot of people have, with the NFL. And I'm going to be watching. I love football, so I'll definitely be watching. I know some people won't. For many reasons. I think both sides. The NFL has just been a mess, and we've talked about it many times on the show. If they would just take some notes from the NBA, the way the NBA handles a lot of stuff, they're kind of a class act, and the NFL is kind of like trying to figure things out that doesn't make a lot of sense.
But the thing is, they won't. They're the champ. They're like baseball was. Baseball was the champ. Baseball didn't change anything. Baseball didn't progress with anything or do anything differently. Yeah. And now baseball is definitively behind both of those sports.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Basketball continues to rise. Part of that's just because of how they handle things. Some of it's just, look at the kids now. Just the fact that basketball is very happy to put everything on YouTube. You can put whatever you want up there.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I was telling, I was talking to Tracy, but I was talking to some other people about this too. The difference in the sports, because Tracy always kind of comes back, because she actually mentioned that because I think, like I said, the NBA made $6 or $7 billion, but then the NHL made like 4 or 5. So the NHL was much closer than I thought. And she was saying basically this is the reason why NHL players need to be paid more. And I was like, no, the difference between the NBA and any other sport, one, the NBA is considered the cool sport.
But even that, where's that money coming from?
What's that?
As far as
no, I told her they don't have nearly the amount of sponsorship.
Yeah, because the sponsorship and the TV deals that NBA is getting,
the NBA has
is blowing the
jersey,
NHL out.
The jersey deals. But still, the simple fact that their revenue was that close did at least give me a little bit of pause. But when it comes down to it, when you can't pronounce half your players' names in your normal bar conversation, there's a little bit to that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier to say Jenkins than it is to say Ovechkin properly.
Plus, it's not all the revenue, and they don't have it like football has it, where the team is the star.
Exactly, but see but the difference is the players in the NBA, they get, I think, 53% of the revenue.
Yeah, it's over 50%.
51 or 52%, whereas in other sports, these players are only getting like 20, 30%.
And the players,
40 if they're lucky.
The players that kept fighting for that, the union is really good. I mean, they've had a lockout recently, you know, where we missed half a season.
They lost games.
And there's been 2 lockouts in the NBA where in '99 and in what was it,
11-ish.
I think 11.
Well, but you also had a couple in hockey, including ones that cost a lot more.
A full season.
Well, hockey lost a whole season.
Yeah.
Full season.
But that doesn't mean that the union did the right thing to come back either, though. I think the NBA union, players union, did a really good job of making sure those contracts were right before they tried to make their comeback, because they were willing to sit out the full season. But the NBA, they knew they couldn't afford that. It hurt the NHL even to this point.
Still hurts
NHL
them.
had ESPN.
Yeah.
And if they would have kept ESPN deal, especially with how big ESPN is now, that would have been a big difference, I think, in hockey. But
yeah. All
right, moving on real quick. We're going to do our predictions, and then we're going to talk some college football, and this show is going to go over a little bit. So, NFL predictions, Super Bowl matchup, MVP of the season, and who's going to win the Super Bowl. So we'll go ahead and give the MVP first. And then we'll give our Super Bowl matchups. I'm going to pick the MVP that I gave last year. He ended up getting hurt. So I think this year he doesn't have his favorite wide receiver, and they were throwing to each other in preseason, which was really cheesy to me. But my man Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to get the MVP this year. I think he's going to be on a mission. He's got that money. You know what I'm saying? And, he could have easily been last year, too, if he didn't get hurt early in the season. So that's my MVP. I'm gonna go back to Aaron Rodgers with that award this year. Who you got, Dave?
Dark horse in it, because it's tough to pick against a quarterback, but I really believe because of the miles they're going to put on Le'Veon Bell, if he's healthy and he reports for game one, I'm picking him as a dark horse MVP candidate, mainly because I would have picked Rodgers. I just don't trust his health, especially with those defenses he has to face.
He has to play against.
That collarbone could be hit number 3.
Yeah, it's possible.
I'm gonna go like black horse. I'm not even gonna go dark.
Whoa! Wow.
I'm going
Steve Huff Jr.
I'm going Black Beauty. we're going off the rails.
Right.
I think and I think we've spoken on this kind of before the preseason and then also during the summer when they were making all their moves. I think the team that's positioned, then most of the leagues, for the most part, pick the team that's the best, and I feel like the Rams are going to be positioned to be the best. So I'm actually going to go either Todd Gurley or Jared Goff.
Woo. Hey,
that's
very possible because they stacked on both ends.
Yeah.
And they
LA, big market. Yeah. So they're gonna have, if they get really rolling, if they run out to 6-7-0, I feel like a lot of eyeballs are gonna go that way. I think that it's probably gonna be one of those two. It just depends on how their games go.
Yep.
So I'm sorry I had to pick two.
Yeah, I mean, are they gonna share it?
Shared MVP. Co-MVP.
Like Shaq and Kobe in the All-Star game.
No, you the real MVP.
Oh, man. That's funny. All right, Super Bowl matchups and picks. This is so hard. I want to go with my heart, but I'm not going to.
I'm surprised you didn't already pick Jimmy G as the MVP.
He's right there. He's top 3.
The Niners will win 7 games.
I mean, if there's a stat for how many STDs you can contract in 1 year, then Jimmy G will be way up there.
You went for his kneecap.
Wow.
Way up there.
Complete kneecap.
I mean, he's a handsome dude.
I love how you think he's the only NFL player that's dating a porn star.
No, I'm not saying he's the only, but I'm just saying the porn
star. Dave, do you know what they
for him are wide open?
Do you know what they do Sunday night after the games? They're at the strip club, all of them.
I'm aware of this.
All right, Dave.
I've met many players at those places when I lived in California.
Really? I didn't know Dave lived in California.
It's a true story.
That's why he's a Giants fan.
That's actually true.
And a Sharks fan.
No,
not anymore.
Not a Sharks fan anymore. He gave them up for a team in his own division.
As did Quad. In my own city.
As did Quad.
In my own city.
Oh.
That I've lived in my whole life.
Oh, we didn't give them up for Chicago. Anyways, Super Bowl team. You got the Bears, Josh. Who else? Who's your Super Bowl matchup?
The Bears.
He has to step through his favorite teams. It's going to take him a minute.
No.
See, Cowboys, Vikings.
I do not. Why would
Giants,
you ever wish to say the Cowboys and me in the same sentence? Every Cowboy fan
Eagles.
knows
He was real happy when they won the Super Bowl last year.
I freaking cheered my heart out for the Patriots to win because I have Eagle fans that are friends that these fools act as if they won Super Bowls for the last 30 years.
Yeah,
they have the worst fan base. They have the entirely worst fan base. Anyway,
I actually hope Philly doesn't make the playoffs this year.
It doesn't matter now. The seal is broken.
It does. It still does.
The seal is broken.
They need to be calmed down a little bit. They did go overboard.
You understand?
Yeah, they lost their minds.
Yeah. You think Desiree's bad? Desiree at least is subjective.
No.
Subjective.
She can't even talk about NBA without bringing up the Eagles.
Trust me when I tell you that Philadelphia people are crazy.
She's good for an Eagle fan.
Yeah. Oh, my gracious.
I mean, Eagle fans, they lost their minds. They went a little far on this one.
I did not want anything. Anyway,
rein it in a bit.
But okay.
El Cortez needs to turn on our AC.
I'll say, as much as I hate to say it, I'll say the Rams versus the Jaguars.
Oh.
See, I have to do it kind of process.
Who wins?
Rams. I just can't trust
Blake Bortles.
Can't trust Blake. Bro, I got Blake all the way to the game.
Been a Super Bowl champion. I think I'll have to go. I'm going to have to do. I've been thinking about this all day. I'm going to have to go the whole playoffs. So Pats, Texans, Jaguars.
Yep. Texans. Okay.
Chiefs, Chargers.
He's giving the whole playoff matchup.
Yeah. Pats, Texans, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers, Steelers.
It's easier to start from there because then you can start to break it down.
I really want to pick against the Pats this year, but I look at that AFC, and I mean, as long as Tom Brady's walking, he owns the city of Pittsburgh. I would have picked the Steelers otherwise. I don't think the Chargers, I don't think the Chiefs are ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I hate picking the Patriots, but I picked the Patriots by default because I think the AFC is bad.
Yeah.
Now the NFC, Rams, not 49ers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Packers, Vikings.
Packers and Vikings, okay.
Falcons and Saints.
If you don't just give me your Super Bowl picks real quick so we can get on to Eminem.
No, it's good. It's good.
I'm going to go with the...
You guys could talk about that later.
I can't pick the Rams. Rams are who I want to pick, but I think they're going to have chemistry problems. I'm going to say the Vikings.
Oh, my God. You did not pick Kirk Cousins to win any meaningful game.
I like the rest of their team. I like Dalvin Cook coming back.
Against who? Who are they playing against?
Patriots. I hate to say it.
He's saying Vikings, Patriots. Really,
And then
year 2.
Vikings
It should have
win.
been that year.
I don't
last
like
year.
that. I don't like any of the pick, but I think the NFC is a slaughterhouse. Now, a healthy Aaron Rodgers would change my mind completely on this whole thing.
I don't think Kirk gets them past 9 wins.
But I
think
think
they'll have a good season.
the
I
Rams
think-
the Rams are either going to be Super Bowl champions or
Or
an
bust.
abject disaster. There is no middle ground.
Wow.
I feel the same way though.
Just think of it. Look,
Wow.
their talent that they brought in is superior. The
But
fact that you're going to
older.
put Ndamukong Suh next to Aaron Donald
is scary.
is unbelievable.
That's scary.
Plus, Aqib Talib out there and Marcus Peters. It's like you have so many great players, but the problem is a lot of these guys are head cases.
Very true. And
but do they all
Sean,
want to win? I think that's
Well,
the
Sean
thing
McVay.
you got to look at right now.
Forget it. I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Yes. 2 Rams.
I'm
He
gonna
convinced himself.
I'm gonna bet on positivity. Well, because I couldn't imagine Kirk Cousins winning the Super Bowl.
Thank you. Like, for real.
But Dave, I think you convinced yourself by naming all the players they got this year.
Yeah. It is a lot.
With the best running back, with somebody who could be a top 5 quarterback.
I wouldn't
I
go
don't know
that
about
far.
that far.
He
But I
could.
mean,
He
Sean,
could.
Sean McVay's a good coach.
They added Brandon Cooks for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, they just there's a lot. They have so much.
They got a lot
talent
going
there,
on that
and
team.
They have. I believe their coach is a good coach.
Sean McVay, Redskin.
I think that they're. Yeah, I'm gonna go by the talent, not by the disaster. But let everyone know that I said they will either be Super Bowl champions or a flat out disaster, and there is no middle ground.
All right. You heard it here first. And he'll probably change his pick a couple times.
Nope, that's it. Lock
That's
it in.
Okay, we'll lock it in.
I already disgraced myself by picking the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm already mad enough about that.
But I feel the same way with you about the Rams. I was weighing in on that because we put most disappointing teams and players on this list too.
and I might pick them there too.
But that's the thing. That's what I was weighing. Like, okay, they might be my Super Bowl pick, or they also might be my most disappointing team because they did get so many players. They had a really good year last year, which was a surprise. They weren't supposed to be as good as they were last year.
They were good.
Are they going to come down from that? But then with the additions they got, it's like if they didn't make all these additions, I would say that they would definitely falter from there. But with all the additions they made, I got to put them as my Super Bowl pick right now. Same thing as you said, man. They're in LA now. They're in a bigger market.
The league's gonna pull for them.
They
for
are.
Sure.
They are. And I'm going to put them against the Patriots. I don't want to see the Patriots 3 years in a row. But who else in the AFC is really
The Jags had him by the they had that game by the
But you have to
bootstraps.
remember
the Bortles effect? I mean,
But think
True.
about
I think he's going to be worse this year than he was last year.
well,
Truth.
and here's the thing you have to remember: their offense was so bad that this Marquise Lee loss for them is huge. Marquise Lee isn't starting for a lot of other playoff teams.
But he's on their team.
Their defense is still good enough. I think your dark horse there, depending on how good you think Deshaun Watson is, and if J.J. Watt's right, is the Texans.
Yeah.
Because
And that's two huge question marks, though. I mean,
Yeah.
is
No,
Watts,
Deshaun looks good. He looks fine.
He does, but at the same time, these are two players coming off major injuries.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are question marks.
Plus, I think the
Watt's
coach
not
sucks.
getting any younger. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
what's
and
he really going to be for a full season if his body holds up?
But not just not getting any younger, he's also had serious injuries for 3 out of the last 4
Yeah.
years.
Major injuries.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
not
a lot
just,
of it's been his back too,
Yeah.
which is once that back goes,
The
it's
AFC
not
just
good.
seems
Yeah.
like question marks to me. And like I said, I cannot, as long as Tom Brady is walking, pick the
Pick
Steelers
against him.
over the Pats. It's
I hear you.
I can't, because they've proven every time that they're not going to
Well,
beat him.
My only thing with the Patriots this year though is that they've lost. Like if they would have kept what's his name receiver that
Cooks?
just retired. No, not just Cooks, but the receiver that just retired that was with the Jets and was with Peyton. White boy receiver that's married to the country music star.
Oh, Eric Decker?
Thank you.
Oh.
If they would have kept him, at least it would have given me
But
another
he couldn't
person.
play.
No, I know, but at least just in theory in my mind, I'd be like, oh, Tom got another one of those slot,
Yeah.
plug
white
and
guy.
play guys. Yeah,
Listen, we're gonna hear a player's
True.
name that's gonna become a household name that we've never heard of before this year. That
Hogan.
plays for the Patriots.
Hogan.
It happens every year.
Where'd
so,
that guy come from?
Yeah.
Well, he came from the Bills.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
They did nothing with him.
All right,
Wow.
now we're real quick, and this is gonna be rapid reaction. Who do you want to be your Super Bowl matchups? I'm going for the Steelers and the 49ers. That's who I want to see in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Josh, who you got?
Steelers, Niners?
I like the Steelers. I want to see them do something and not lose to the Patriots.
Who I would want? Well, of course I'd want my Redskins.
Yeah.
So, Redskins.
Alex Smith.
Yeah. I think the Redskins have a very good shot to it. Look, it all starts.
You better get this rapper reaction quicker.
Sorry. Redskins versus I don't know, Chiefs. Redskins, Chiefs. Let's make it all Indian.
Wow,
fair.
you're so racist, Dave.
I
Would
would
really piss them off.
That'd be the most racist. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I could. In America, in Trump's America,
That
yes.
it has to happen within the next 2 years.
Oh God, yes.
Shout out to my dad. So the Packers in the NFC and in the AFC, geez, I can't say the Bills because I think they're going to be the worst team in the league.
Oh my gosh.
No.
This dude has so much little faith in his team.
Oh, I have no. It's not little faith. I have none. I have
Oh,
zero
you have faith. You have bad faith.
Yeah,
it's bad
exactly.
Dave, they made the playoffs last year.
And
Yeah,
he was
that
hating
was a
the whole
fluke.
way. He
That
was
was a
like,
fluke.
"Oh, they're not making it." And we were like, "Dave, they've got a good shot." No, not gonna happen.
That was a fluke.
Dave, you made the playoffs.
You kidding
Oh,
me?
we're gonna get crashed.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
And you know what? Just because I think it would be funny, the Chargers.
Oh,
That'd be
God.
entertaining.
Yeah, that would. Who you said the Packers?
Hold on.
Chargers?
I want to remind everybody
Nice.
out there that's a football fan, that's a sports fan, that's a fan of anything, anybody in San Diego. The Chargers are in L.A. They
Yes.
play in a
StubHub.
soccer stadium.
StubHub Field.
30 people show up.
30 Chargers fans.
They're
The rest are
they're in
everybody else.
L.A. We don't know how long that's going to last.
LA-ish. They're not even in LA.
They're in Carson.
Yeah.
The Carson Chargers. That would actually sound a lot better. It would help the city of Carson just come up financially,
Elevate.
and it might become a major city one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our picks. Biggest disappointing teams, like I said, it might be the Rams. Also, I'm gonna throw the Eagles in there. I don't think they're making the playoffs. They're still good. I'm not. They're not gonna make the playoffs.
Who do you think in their division is better? Who's good enough to beat them? Josh, don't say the Redskins.
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah.
Stop.
I think the Giants are going to be
We
a lot
daggone-
better
we-
this
we-
year.
we-
I like their offense. I like Barkley. Odell got paid. If he could stay healthy,
That ain't going to help.
That's not helping you
I
win.
think it
That's
will.
just more cocaine money right there.
Wow. And pizza. Don't leave out pizza. Come
more
on,
so
Dave.
cocaine.
That was the girl. He was eating pizza.
Oh, sure he was. He was cutting up lines of Parmesan cheese is what he was doing.
Chop, chop.
Which
With a credit card.
Jimmy G just takes a girl out to dinner. Odell's laying in bed with one of them, and Dave doesn't say anything about that.
What did I just say?
But Jimmy
I just
G's the
talked
bad
about
guy.
Cocaine flat out.
But Jimmy G's the bad guy.
Oh,
no, I'm not
sweet
saying Jimmy
Jesus.
G's a bad guy. I'm just saying Jimmy G's options are like the state of California. Everyone's in love with that dude.
Even you.
No,
He's a handsome guy.
Man, all right, that's twice.
He didn't deny it.
That's
Very
unsolicited.
handsome.
That's unsolicited
Very
handsome
handsome.
remarks.
He said it 4 times just now.
Unsolicited handsome remarks.
Man. All right, real quick, let's jump. Did we get everything? I think we did.
It's fine.
Did you
I didn't say my disappointing,
disappointing team.
but I think it might also be the Rams. I'm gonna hedge my bet.
You're pick on both sides.
Well, I'm gonna be right one way or the other.
Josh, who you got?
I'm actually gonna say the Cowboys. And the only reason I say the Cowboys is because everyone always,
Wait. Don't say everyone. There's
Well,
only
no,
a select group of people.
No. Like analysts will always go Cowboys are going to be great or Cowboys are going to be bad.
For TV ratings.
And so for me, I feel like Dak got exposed and Zeke is good, but that offensive line has had some
Is
injuries.
weaker, yeah.
So if that offensive line is weaker, that affects everything. If you don't have 3 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line, things start to change. So I feel like the Cowboys could have problems.
And I don't think anybody in here is ever disappointed when Cowboys have a bad
Oh,
season.
Lord,
no. Well, I mean, you're trying to claim that I'm a closeted Cowboy fan. And
That's
We don't know.
I don't
those
say
might
me.
be fighting words.
I mean,
like,
you might have been when
Never.
Emmett and Michael Irvin were there and they were winning Super Bowls.
Never.
It needs the same logic as Michael Jordan, right?
Oh no. I was
Michael
that one,
Irvin went to the U.
That one was ingrained. And see, I wasn't a U fan then. I wasn't a U fan until like
Here we go. Yes,
You just
my
proved the point.
has
I
just
You
been
just
made.
proved the point.
I told
The
you when I became
prosecution
a
rests.
Stop.
Oh, my gosh.
I told you when I became a U fan, and it wasn't until high school.
Listen, the way you dog us for liking a team that moved to Vegas.
I didn't have a
we
team.
got an expansion team.
Listen, I did not have. Look, okay, look.
Oh my gosh,
My
we're not
father-
getting into this. What we're getting into.
No. Here, let me at least
You
clear
better
my
segue
name.
into that game then, because
Unclear.
that's what's
Okay,
next on the
all right,
menu.
Cool. I'll segue into that. That's fine. So look, my father only really watched the Bullets and the Redskins.
Don't blame it on your father.
No. I'm telling you how I became a sports fan because like my family.
We're gonna call your dad.
That's fine. My family
Put
is
your
really
hands up.
my family is really only. He's gonna explain that one. My family's only really football and basketball people. So my basketball and football teams were more or less more ingrained.
Can I interject real quick? I'm
Whereas
sorry.
baseball, hockey, any of that, I found on my own. So and then college, we didn't really have a college team. We don't have Maryland. Really think about it. We don't really got a great college program. We had Georgetown, so I was a
Well,
Georgetown.
they're definitely
fan.
not a great college program right now. And by the way, Josh, just a quick question:
true.
Are your family push-up people?
Yeah, sure.
Because it seems like you're due for another 25.
Another 25. That's fine.
You ready?
So segueing into our next segment.
Our next segment, college football, week 1, and I think we're only going to talk about our disappointments because we don't have a long show.
That's fine.
So we're going to talk about our disappointments. Somebody had tagged me on Facebook, my boy Eric Kindred, talking about UNLV's beating USC so far, and I'm
I
like,
had a lot of people doing that too.
I'm like, look, it's the second quarter. And by the time I even checked the score
They were
to see
getting-
what it was,
Yeah.
USC had
Rocked.
just scored, and then UNLV didn't score ever again.
Yeah, USC also started like a true freshman.
Which I love Vegas sports. All right, I have never claimed UNLV since the early '80s because I know Gorman.
Basketball though.
Basketball definitely.
Okay, all right.
I know Gorman could
making
beat
sure.
UNLV's football team.
Not this year.
Not this year. Gorman's struggling.
Gorman got rocked by Mater Day.
Last year too.
Modern days
Last year too.
really high though. But Michigan, the only full game I actually watched on Saturday,
It's a tough one.
and we're going to talk about this because Harbaugh's my coach from the 49ers. I was happy when he left it and went to Michigan.
You and me both.
Who
But-
has it better than us? Everybody.
But, and I was watching the game, and they just made some, even at the end of the game, their time management was horrible with the clock. They lost to Notre Dame. Listen, Notre Dame's playing at home. They play good at home,
They were having a green out.
but they just didn't look good. Michigan just did not look good. Their defense, which was supposed to
Defensively,
be
they're good.
amazing, was getting scored on the first half like it was nothing.
Their defense was fine. I think a lot of it is just that their offense gives no production. And the guy who is supposed to be great at developing quarterbacks has not had one
At
even
all.
half decent quarterback.
Since Andrew Luck.
It's just, well, I mean, he made Kaepernick. He got Kaepernick to a Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
But
That's
at
true.
Michigan, he hasn't. I mean,
At Michigan, zero.
Yeah.
His quarterbacks are like negative 25.
wow.
It's awful. I can tell you, Wilton Spate, John O'Corn. I mean, they've all been terrible. Shea Patterson, I was hoping because he was a different kind of player, maybe he was going to do something different. Nope. McCaffrey's little brother. Nope.
Shoot.
Nope.
I don't know.
McCaffrey came in for a play.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't understand why they're so terrible. I trust their defense a lot more than their offense, but because their offense gives their defense nothing. Those guys end up.
And is the media still giving Harbaugh a pass? Because I feel like he's getting a lot of passes.
Oh, not anymore. He's getting called out left, right,
Starting to-
and center.
starting
I,
to catch the
I
heat.
haven't seen a lot.
Starting to catch the heat.
But a lot of it is he's just out there being weird. It's not even like endearing anymore. He's just weird. Now I'm not saying it's time to run him off or anything like that.
it's time. He's 1-8 versus all of their rivals.
I get it.
Well, and
He's
they
1-8
said that
versus Ohio State.
Michigan hasn't won a road game against a ranked team in like 17 games.
right, but the rivals cheat. I mean, look at Ohio State.
Well,
I mean,
maybe they should start.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
Just saying.
Stop playing with integrity. Start going out there and dropping those bags.
and 2 seasons ago, I still say Michigan won that game.
Oh,
Where's who?
I
Ohio State.
can't even comment on that because that was a horrendous call.
Yeah. Anyways,
No replay shown, by the way.
No replay.
so that's our side. But listen, even though Michigan played bad, they didn't play as bad as the next team we're going to talk about.
Lord,
Whoa.
no.
This game was a word I never use, atrocious.
All right, so you want me to give you the whole blow by blow of the game?
No.
'Cause I watched
No,
the whole
no.
Don't
thing.
need to. It was a blowout.
It wasn't. We ended up losing by 16.
Oh,
It's bad.
Okay, but you know it wasn't a 16-point loss.
No. Listen. We actually started to execute. The biggest issue from the
Against
game,
backups.
truthfully. No, there weren't any backups. They still had their starters out there. Don't try to play me like they were.
They were up 30-3.
Their starters
They started running out.
Their
some backups.
starters were still out there. Their starters started getting hurt. Actually, is really what happened. I mean, look, the Canes just they didn't show up at all. But like when I was in Miami in July and I was talking to some people out there, I feel like the biggest thing that happened to the Canes last year was we became great too fast. Like we went from unranked and uncared about to, oh shoot, we're 9-0, 10-0, and everybody in the world's talking about us. Everybody's saying the U is back, and then
But they hadn't beaten anybody.
Yeah, well, no, we'd had a couple wins. I mean, we beat Florida State, which wasn't a great Florida State team, but for us, we hadn't, like, even when we were the better team, we'd still found ways to lose to Florida State over the last 5 years.
But Florida State was so bad that their coach ran away.
I'm still mad about that.
Florida
I'm
State's
still mad
down.
about Jimbo.
Florida
Jimbo
State's
leaving.
down 10-0 right now.
I know.
At home in the first.
Not good, but Vatech is always a good team.
They're always good. Yeah.
They're good, but I mean the Canes they didn't play well. I sat and watched the whole game. I didn't give up.
I wouldn't have been able to.
I didn't give up.
I forgot there was even a game yesterday. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a Sunday. It's weird, and even game going on tonight.
They're chalking up as much as they can. First week is why they do it.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
You get a bunch out there before the NFL comes on.
Yeah.
You can still own Sunday for one more week.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I think as far as the rest of the seasons goes, I feel like probably we might drop to like 14, 15, 16 range. If they still rattle off 8, 9 straight wins, they'll be fine. We'll be okay. We can still win the Coastal Division.
And that's the thing with losing a game early. You want to lose early more than you want to lose late, because when you lose a game in the first week or two, when it comes down to the college playoff, in that time, if you do have a big winning streak and you're beating some good teams, you could still make it.
Yeah.
As a big school, you know what I'm saying? Michigan could still make it. I don't think they will, but if they start winning games, they can make it. Same thing with Miami.
But the difference is Michigan plays in an incredibly tough division against a lot of other good teams. I mean,
So
their
if they
same
get
division
hot-
has Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State.
If they could beat all those teams,
yeah,
they're right there.
But then
They're
let's just really quickly. I'm going to run down Miami's schedule:
Duke.
Savannah State,
Oh,
Toledo,
gosh.
FIU,
Yep.
Carolina, Florida State on October 6th, then Virginia, Boston College, Duke, Georgia Tech,
Wow.
then Virginia Tech, then Pittsburgh. They don't play Clemson in the regular season,
Sauce.
That might, but
so they're going to have a nice record.
But that
We
record.
better.
But I mean, that lineup might not get them in the playoff.
No, it probably won't get
because all those weak teams.
Probably won't get us in the playoff, but it'll get us back to the ACC championship game, which could.
Which could.
See what I'm saying?
But it won't, because Clemson's going to put a whooping on them.
Hey, look, one game.
Yeah, one game against an NFL defensive line.
One game.
In fact, Clemson has so many people on their D line that they have guys that are going to the league that aren't even starting.
One game.
And going back to Michigan real quick, Michigan usually plays like a weak team on week one. So it was kind of surprising seeing them like start off playing a good team. Because you usually like to get that weak team out of the way. But did I say it right?
Appalachian State.
Appalachian State beat them a few years ago. And
they
then they
almost
almost
beat you.
won again. How long ago? That was 3 years, right?
No, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was with
That was Chad Henne,
Oh,
Mike
that was a
Hart.
long time
That
ago.
was that
what's
was
his name was the coach?
Lloyd Carr,
So it's been like 10 years.
Lloyd, yeah.
But
national champion Lloyd Carr.
But they almost pulled off an upset against Penn State.
That's who it was. Yes.
Went into overtime. They missed what was it, Dave? Like a 56-yarder
56
to win the game.
to win in regulation. Ended up going into overtime. And they did that. But moving on.
And Appalachians now they're not 1AA anymore. They're
Well, there is no such thing as 1AA.
well, but there's no they're not FCS either. Sorry. I know. I know Quan doesn't know. I know. Yeah, I believe that they're what division are they in now? What conference are they in?
I don't even remember. I have to be
Wow,
honest.
Dave, you don't know?
All right,
Nope.
good.
What a jerk.
I know my intern would know that one for sure.
Yeah, we need to bring him on the show.
He's coming in. Don't worry. The flying tomato that is Liam Blutman.
Flying tomato.
Blutman will make an appearance.
All right, and we do have an announcement because we have a new show starting tomorrow.
This is your guy, Dre Bailey.
And your man, Goose Thomas.
Tune in to Let the Ball Bounce on Guerilla Cross Radio.
Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time.
And every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Your guy, Dre Bailey.
And your man, Goose Thomas.
And if you scared,
you better go to church.
And yo, if you guys want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. We didn't give that number out earlier. My bad. But if you want to call in, talk to us about anything we've been talking about, which we're getting into pop culture right now. You might want to call in for this because Thursday night was such a fun night. I'm like, you know what? I'm bored. Let me go drive. Let me go do Lyft for a little bit. I'm driving around. All of a sudden, I get a text on Facebook, and someone sends me this album that I had no idea was coming out.
Nobody did.
No one did.
It's called Kamikaze. And she just sent me the cover for it. So I'm like, oh, cool. He's going to come out with an album. Like, that's dope. And it looks like the Beastie Boys cover. And I was like, dude, this is sick. Little did I know, 5 minutes later, I'm like, wait, this is out now. Like, what happened? And so it made my whole weekend. I actually had to cancel Speak Live Radio hip hop show on Friday. Real talk.
Had to shut it down.
I did not want to listen to you guys send me music. I didn't want to be rude. I would have been extra brutal because I was listening to Eminem all weekend. And he literally, I mean,
Eminem,
that
too.
album is so dope. And he, from track 1, The Ringer, he comes in just destroying people like crazy. Track 2, The Greatest, destroying people. Track 3, featuring Joyner Lucas, destroying more people. The Fall, destroying people. Like, he's just destroying people over and over again. He talked some junk about Machine Gun Kelly, called him out by name, because he does do subliminals. I guess Machine Gun Kelly had commented on a picture of Eminem's daughter when she was 16 or something like that.
He looks like the type.
Talking about she's a hottie.
But how old is he, though?
Machine Gun?
Yeah.
Definitely older than 16.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he was probably of age.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, like, she's what, 21 now?
Illegal
20?
is illegal.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if he was
Tracy.
18, Jesus.
I don't know.
Niche
but,
Keat. Never mind.
But it was enough for Eminem to not like it, which Eminem will let anything fuel him.
Of course. But, I mean, it is also his daughter.
And listen, I have an Eminem theory. 2 theories. His last album, he didn't have anything to talk about with his last album. I think it was called Revival.
Yeah. It was bad.
There was nothing in life that was really, and I didn't even listen to it. It was so bad. I heard a couple songs and it just didn't wake me up at all.
Nope.
And so with that album being a bust, he's a rich dude now. He's chilling. Like, he's older. He's not mad about anything.
True. He's also off some of the problems he used to have too.
Exactly.
So it's like that's not fueling him either.
So this album comes out and it's kind of a bust. This album gets so much criticism, and people are saying he's done. And he did the BT Cypher, MTV. I think it was BT. Where he's talking about Trump and stuff like that. Yeah. And, he got a lot of flack for that from people. So his name's kind of been dragged under the mud the last 7 or 8 months since that album had dropped. And that motivated him and fueled
plus
him.
You have those like little clowns out there just saying stupid nonsense about somebody they don't even understand.
Exactly. And my other theory is this, though. He put out that album on purpose and just put out a lackluster album. Let me just throw this out there so I can get hating on, get my name back in the news so I can fuel myself.
Maybe it may not have been intentional. Maybe just...
I think it could have been intentional, though. That's one of my theories, is that it was intentional to put out a whack album to be able to fuel the fire for himself. He needed to do that for himself.
Well,
to be motivated to come out,
he certainly got
and destroy
up.
everybody.
He
so what do you guys think about
this? Fuel. I think that I don't think he really had his heart in it. I think he was just putting out an album to put out an album.
On Revival, you talking about?
Yeah, that Beyonce track was terrible, just flat out terrible. And
why do you hate that one?
It was a terrible song.
That
was a terrible track. That Walk on Water. That was terrible.
Walk on Water wasn't bad.
Didn't do anything for me at all.
That was
really
awful.
Yeah,
that was awful. It was.
I didn't think
both
that
of them
Beyonce
should be ashamed of that.
It sounded like a very hard attempt at doing something different.
Exactly. Beyonce doesn't have the voice to be doing like a cappella songs and stuff. Beyonce is one of the great performers of our lifetime, but she's not like a powerhouse singer. It's not like you're running Rest in Peace Aretha Franklin out there or something.
I've seen her in person.
Okay, I'm saying she's a great performer. I'm not
No,
disrespecting Beyonce.
no.
I'm saying that track was awful.
Don't
bad use of either.
Don't
one.
upset the Beehive.
Well, I know. You
gotta watch out for that.
So many people will be coming for me
You gotta
already.
be careful. Look,
Dave is no longer on the show due to a accidental
I
death.
messed up. I already realized I messed up. I'm not saying she's bad. I'm saying that track was bad. I think if you asked her in a moment of honesty, she would admit that track was bad.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think about Kamikaze? Kamikaze came out and totally took every. I mean, that's all anybody was talking about. And like I said, I had to cancel my show because there's no way I could have taken submissions that day and given honest opinions on people's music.
Due to all my favorite rap being mostly diss tracks and things like that, I loved it.
It was pretty much a whole album of diss tracks.
I loved it.
Josh, what did you think? Did you hear the whole thing yet?
The album?
Yeah.
You know I don't listen to new music. I did.
Thanks
look,
for waiting.
No. All right, we're here. No, look, I'll put it to you like this. So I did read.
Josh
through,
was listening to Reasonable Doubt all weekend.
No, definitely not Reasonable Doubt.
You're not a Jay fan?
I am a Jay fan, but I mean, I don't bump Reasonable Doubt every 5 minutes.
All right. Well, you said you didn't listen to new music, so.
Jeez, but you took me back to '96.
I figured you. I'm glad you got the year on that though.
He was bumping.
Whoa!
Good job.
He was bumping American Gangster.
Definitely not that album.
Oh my
though.
God, that was terrible.
Oh, what?
Speaking of terrible albums,
Wasn't terrible. It was
American
different.
I liked American
It was
Gangster.
different. It was different. It was different for him.
I
It was
liked
a
American
different
Gangster
sound.
a lot.
It was a different sound, but it wasn't terrible for sure.
I liked it a lot. So,
But-
so did you hear any songs?
I did listen a
are
little bit.
you just a commenter on Facebook that doesn't listen?
No. First off, I don't judge anyone's art if I didn't listen. So I won't. I'll be, oh, it's horrible. Be like, did you listen? Like, yeah, I listened. Like, no. I mean, I listened to the Machine Gun Kelly song just because that one was good. But then also, Machine Gun Kelly said like absolutely nothing. He probably should have just popped his champagne like he was doing. That would have probably been better than what his retort was. It wasn't very.
well, his retort multiple times called him the greatest of all time.
Yeah, so
how
it
do
was
you
like-
come at somebody and call them the great? You're like so worried
If
about
you're
the
gonna
guy.
diss them, just diss them. Don't
Yeah.
give them compliments. You're
Yeah.
the greatest, but you're 46 wearing
Yeah.
a hoodie, and it's like, bro. First of all, and shout out to Machine Gun Kelly. I would have never listened to a Machine Gun Kelly song in my life if
That's
it
the first
wasn't
one I ever
for
heard.
this song. I didn't know what his voice sounded like.
I don't even know.
I don't like his voice. First of all, your voice sucks. So with that being said,
It's
I
trouble
can't
for you.
even give you props on any of the bars you might have had just because you didn't even sound good.
Well, he's the
Same.
only one that came back. So I mean, I give him that much
So
credit.
far. I mean, it's only been since Thursday.
Oh, they're not coming.
How many of those
They're not
guys that he
coming
came at are gonna come back at him?
Not Migos. What are
Lord,
they
no.
gonna do? I mean,
I think Cardi B would have to come back at them for Migos.
wow.
And she actually probably would have a good
She'd be much
ghost-written
better.
track.
She'd
She'd
be
have a
much better.
good ghost-written track. I could give her that.
And like Facebook, Maria said he just reiterated things M already said about himself. Which the funny thing is, M did that in 8 Mile. He knows
Yeah.
how to do that. You're not going to clap back at him and be successful.
Because I'm
He's
gonna clap.
untouchable.
I'm gonna clap myself.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: people are waiting for Eminem's going to respond. No, Eminem is not going to respond anytime soon. He might have a mention in a line in the next album. Eminem doesn't have to respond. You don't score 100 points, and then your opponent scores 35, and you're like, "Oh, I got to try to score again." You don't have to score anymore. You already won the game. Your opponent, you gave your opponent a free lane to the basket for 10 minutes, and you didn't score enough points. So why you don't have to make a comeback when dude didn't even do anything to come at you?
I was gonna say that was gonna be.
No,
really
I mean, listen,
disrespectful.
it's
Say
the
it.
it's the
Be
best thing that
disrespectful.
Machine Gun Kelly ever did.
I was gonna say, so we're giving
Or
you
they were after.
autistic buckets.
Oh gosh,
See, that's
You can't
really
say
bad.
that.
That's really
Yikes.
bad.
and you're
that
laughing
was
about
really
it.
funny though.
Was
You're
it?
the only one that thinks it's
Was
funny,
it?
Josh.
That was funny.
I don't know
That
about
was actually pretty good. That was
Wow.
off
Yeah,
air.
yeah.
That was more of the off air show.
wow, Josh.
Dang,
Keep that
that
one on the
wasn't
off air.
off
I,
air.
I backed Dave up. Dave backed up. Wow,
Look at yourself, Josh. You're
That was
crying
funny.
right
That
now.
was funny, man. That was good stuff.
Wow. Yo, we got a caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Kyle Lowry here in Las Vegas.
What's up, Kyle Lowry? Turn the music down in the background if you can.
I'm turning you guys down in the background.
Yeah, do that. What's good, man? I know you're into music. So tell us, man, what you think about this Eminem joint, and what do you think about your boy Machine Gun Kelly's attempt at a clapback?
Yeah, no, I think it's cool that he did, step up and try, but I mean, it's going against Eminem, like you said, 100-30. Eminem's iconic. He's one of the GOATs, and MGK is not going to compete with that, with his legacy.
Ever.
Like, name one Machine Gun Kelly song that's been on the radio that I'm like.
What was this track called?
Exactly.
That's
Irrelevant.
Well, yeah,
It's called Comeback Against Eminem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I saw dude, he posted just the stats of like their last 3 albums comparatively, and it was like hundreds of thousands versus like 30,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those
Well, and
Eminem
even
albums didn't
G-Eazy
perform.
on the G-Eazy joint, on the G-Eazy joint, he had a lot more facts, just straight facts that he was spitting about MGK, which was pretty hilarious.
Oh,
I didn't hear that.
I didn't know that one.
Yo, the G-Eazy joint goes, like, he got a double dose, and then G-Eazy ends it with saying, and ironically, I dropped this the same week that M dissed you.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he titled the track Bad Boy. And shouted Diddy.
Is MGK on Bad Boy?
Yeah, Diddy messes with, or used to mess with him according to G-Eazy. He's like, why is Puff sitting ringside with me and not messing with you?
When was the last time Diddy was associated with a good performer? Was it when Biggie was still alive?
Oh, wow.
Stop.
He sent Shine to jail. Come on.
Who's since Biggie? I mean, you want to say Mace?
Carl Thomas. We can run through some names.
We can run through. Please run through some names because I would love to know.
Dave wants to know. He just doesn't know.
I would love to know.
He's asking questions.
Dave.
He was carried to fame by a great, and
Yeah.
ever since
It's
then,
crazy.
and then made billions on his own.
yeah, alcohol money.
Well,
It's
true.
not all Ciroc.
Yeah, it
Not all Ciroc, though.
slaps his name on everything, and he's created a brand that makes more money than most rappers. Like Drake and Jay-Z came second and third on Forbes with him last year.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting his money making ability.
He created Dylon.
Making the
I mean,
band.
that's 5 right there.
Exactly. That's 5
I
Dylons.
spit hot fire.
Come on. That alone is worth his career.
Rum-pum-ting.
That's my least favorite Facebook answer anytime you ask for a list. It's like, okay, ha ha ha, you're the original. Thanks for saying Dylon
The
5 times.
best thing about that is
jerk.
no one remembers the actual show, and everybody just remembers Chappelle's shows.
No. Look, when we were in Brooklyn, we were talking about that's the bridge they walked across. Like we still
For the
like,
cheesecake?
People still talk about that.
Go give me
though.
some sugar cookies.
Yeah. The only way I'm gonna open up the studio is if you go get me breast milk from a Cambodian prostitute.
Hey, Diddy's son is making music now, though.
Oh, I'm sure that's great. Does he talk about swinging weights in the UCLA weight room?
Different son.
Oh,
Snap.
He has more than one son.
He does but by the same lady, by Kim.
Okay, we didn't say anything.
Yeah,
Don't be so
yeah.
defensive.
I wasn't defensive at all. I was just letting you know it's by Kim.
He's so defensive. Not all white people think that all black guys have kids from multiple women.
jeez. Reverse racism.
Gosh.
Ooh, wide left.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
Dave, you're supposed to sit over there.
Drive the field.
Anytime there's a team with the Indian, Josh is watching.
It's true.
The Seminoles, man.
Racist.
The Seminoles. And the
Yeah.
Seminoles got the okay from the Seminole tribe.
Okay.
Don't try to play them to the left.
Did they pay for an okay, or did they get like a?
No. I'm not sure if they paid. I'm sure they probably paid something. I would hope.
All right, Kyle. Last thoughts on all this.
I'm just waiting for Ariana to break up with that dude and holler,
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah, we're gonna jump into that. Thanks for calling in, bro.
we all have a chance.
Thanks for calling in.
Later.
So, I mean, more stuff happened this weekend. The 16-hour-long Aretha Franklin funeral that everybody was raving about. I didn't watch any of it. I'm not a fan of like celebrity funerals.
I don't need to see any.
I watched a little bit of Michael Jackson's funeral and saw like his fully white kids talk up there. Come on, bro. His kids came out
Kids
with
are white.
vitiligo. His kids came out with vitiligo. Come on.
I
And
hate
blue
you.
eyes.
I hate
And
you
blue
so
eyes.
much because
Blonde
that's
hair,
so the
blue
cat.
eyes.
That's the Cat
Look-
Williams.
look
That's the Cat
nothing-
Williams. You did not stick in a white woman and come out with 2 blonde hair, blue eyed babies.
Three.
Super white kids. So I watched a little bit of his, but that was a little
Blanket.
different for
No,
me.
I've watched none of any.
But I'm not into celebrity funerals. Like
I don't want to watch funeral.
I didn't watch, like
Princess Di.
Princess Di. How'd you know I was gonna say that?
Good job.
John McCain. I didn't. I don't watch presidential. Like it's part of our
Todd,
history.
Todd
It's
didn't
like,
watch it
okay,
because
well,
Trump wasn't invited.
Sure
Todd,
was.
Todd uninvited himself too. He unfriended everyone there.
Did you find it nice?
There was a Trump there though.
Yeah.
The first lady was there,
because she trolls him.
but she got
Incessantly.
invited
That's crazy.
and he didn't.
And no, but got
Like,
invited and then went.
Not even exactly. not
the
not
real
even the
key.
respect level of like, hey,
She hates him more than we do. So
That's crazy.
I mean, hey.
She needs to divorce him in office.
why? Cash those checks.
Yeah, get that money.
True, but man.
Don't get deported.
True,
Exactly.
because if you get divorced, those deportation
Yeah.
notices are coming.
All of a
No
sudden,
bueno.
her family's
All of a
visas
sudden, it's
start looking real different.
Yo, we got another caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Jeff Williams. I'm calling from North Carolina.
North
And
Carolina.
me and Joshua, yeah.
Hey, turn the volume down in the background a little bit if you can for us.
All right.
Nah, I just think that's people in the background.
No,
There's
that's our voices coming back at us.
Yeah, that's your voices. That's my
Oh.
man Williams, Joshua Williams. That's my people. We used to live at study with each other. Me and his brother went to school together.
Okay.
way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, way back. That's my man. That's my man. I was just seeing him. We was talking about Machine Gun Kelly and all that, so I just had to call in on that. I was telling our man that he didn't mention about me and my music.
Jeff also makes music.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
So you called in for a plug.
Yeah, you got to send in the information. The guy that you're talking to, I don't do anything with
I'll
the
shoot
music
you an
stuff.
invoice.
Yeah, Quan's the one that plugs the music. So, but yeah, just send it to me. Send it over to me, and I can get it over to him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I got to say, Joshua, man, congratulations on everything you're doing, man. I'm keeping up with you, man. You really giving back to the community, man. And I appreciate it, man.
Well, I appreciate
Really?
the love for sure, man. Seriously.
Always,
Thank you.
always, man. No problem. And Machine Gun Kelly is some trash, man. You can't deal with it. Huh?
Yeah.
That's
So
straight up.
Now, do you even respect the fact that he went at M? Like at least responded.
I really do respect the fact that he went at him. That's the only thing I do because, this guy really got the kahunas to really even go to Eminem and do so. That man, Eminem could just end his career if he wanted to.
yeah.
But just because the man is hibernating right now, I don't think Eminem don't got nothing, in his machine gun.
I feel you, man. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling in. Make sure you send your music to Josh.
Definitely will. Look out.
Send your Josh
Look
to
out
music.
for Smoke Coleon.
There
Smoke
you go.
Coleon, a.k.a. Chilla, Lucky 7 all day, man. I'm going to send it to y'all. Y'all can check it out.
All right, man.
Put me up against Machine Gun Kelly.
There it is, big man.
Hey, do us a favor. Download the Guerilla Cross app, bro. Listen to us weekly.
Definitely.
Twice a week.
All right. No problem.
All right, bro.
3 times a week. Y'all playing.
Hey, you can watch the replay.
All right, Jeff.
Will do.
Thanks, man. Take
See
care.
y'all.
You plug, I plug.
There you go. There
Hey,
you
but
go.
shout out to all the callers. If we have a little bit of more time, if you want to call in 702-608-3259. Yeah, season 2 we went over time, so things don't change. You know what I'm saying? We try to make change. We try to be Obama, but
We'll get there.
we'll get there. Hey, it's been a fun show though, man.
Always.
We had a
man.
lot to talk about. We've been gone for a month.
We didn't go off topic too bad.
No, we did good. I mean, you kept that chain the whole time.
I don't like giving it away unless people get egregious.
I mean, and sometimes it does get pretty bad where people are taking it way off course. But we will be back on Thursday. And before we go, we do have our last segment, our favorite segment, right now, right here.
You unfriended me.
And my unfriended, I'm going to go first because it is actually our last topic. So I'm going to just add that into our unfriended because I didn't want to cut the whole topic. But my unfriended is older men,
Oh.
particularly an older pastor that was doing the ceremony for Aretha Franklin.
One of the many.
One of the many, which I didn't watch, but this is the clip I did watch. Ariana Grande, you need to know a little bit how to dress in church, but this does not leave the door open
Doesn't make it right.
to be able to grab the girl who looks, she's a very pretty girl, looks very young, especially, the pastor was probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
Grabbed her up high, even if you're going to put your arm around her, there's a respectful way to do it.
Well,
You
but
should
twinkle finger-
listen, hold on. You shouldn't even be putting your arm around her.
100%.
But if you're
In
good,
church.
no.
Still no.
Still
Okay,
no.
so
Still no.
all right, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
But
'cause
if you are going to do it, make sure your hands just, around the waist area, not too low.
shoulder,
On the shoulder.
you're always good.
Not
Light-
the boob.
light touch of the
not
back
the
shoulder.
boob. Listen, we know she doesn't have, she's not huge, but his hand is on all the way on her breast.
Well,
he's
plus that's
pulling
all-
he's
by-
pulling her towards him when
Yeah.
she's like clearly trying to
Trying to
respectfully
back up.
like
Yeah, back
pull
up.
away.
But
Yeah.
that's also not reading body language whatsoever because she
Yeah.
was clearly
She was
uncomfortable.
super uncomfortable.
Clearly.
Well,
I don't think
look-
he cared to read the body language. I think
no,
he read
he
the
did
body
not.
language, but his mind was reading his own body language.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton back there just smiling like
Bill
an
Clinton's
old,
like,
you know,
man, I wish
old
I could
goat.
trade spaces.
I wish she was
Jesse
my
Jackson
intern.
was too.
I wish she was my
man.
intern. Jesse Jackson was back there like,
Yeah.
praise the Lord.
That's the funniest thing to
Um,
me is everybody's calling out Bill Clinton. It's like, dude, Jesse Jackson was staring her down like she was a pork chop.
Oh no, they had both of them circled in the memes. I
Yeah,
saw.
they did. I
They,
I
they
saw
didn't.
it
They didn't
too.
give either of them a pass.
Bill
saw
Clinton's
it
going to do
too.
what he does.
So I'm unfriending all three of them: Bill Clinton, Jesse Jackson, and the pastor who I don't even know his
and
name.
the unnamed pastor.
And the unnamed pastor.
Which, by the way, if you were a pastor in the Detroit area and you didn't get some time on that service, you need to evaluate your life choices.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even watch it, but I heard there were quite a few speakers.
I've never
Oh
heard
my God.
people laugh this hard at a funeral. But go ahead, Josh.
My unfriended or my
You unfriended me.
not even gonna give me the opportunity to retort.
You can
All right.
retort. You can retort.
Well, no. My only thing was at first glance, like when I was watching the video, it didn't look bad. I saw her body language, so I knew something happened, but I
Yeah.
couldn't tell. And so I was like trying to explain, like, oh, well, it didn't look that bad. It didn't look like he was like. But then when I saw the picture and I saw it was like mushed boob, I was like, oh yeah, he
tried. Yeah,
he tried it.
He didn't
But
try. He succeeded.
He went all the way there.
Yeah, that's.
And I haven't seen it. Is there any repercussions going on for
Lord,
this
no, he
at all?
apologized.
No.
Nobody's going to care.
Moving on. It
Wow.
was news this week.
And
Sadly, it should
Things
be
only
news.
last 3 days
Yeah.
in media
Yeah.
these days.
Man. But my unfriended actually would be Nick Saban. You know,
Me and
Nick-
Dave talked about this a little
Yeah, well, we talked about it. You know, Nick Saban after the game on what was that, Friday? I feel like they played early. After his game, the reporter was asking him basically about Tua versus Jalen Hurts, and does this kind of end the speculation? And he I'm tired of everybody asking me questions. Like, we just had a great game and yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. And he, went off on her. And this was a sideline reporter. Like, when I first heard about it, I thought this was
Oh, it was a
question.
female. I didn't know it was a
Yeah,
female. Okay.
female, black female, all, he checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
He checked as many as he could.
She only had one leg, paraplegic,
All
couldn't
bad-
hear out of 2 ears.
All bad things. But I when I first heard about it, I thought this happened in the press conference after. So the simple fact that it happened, like when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay.
Because he
that's
still kind of went off in the press conference too after the
Oh,
game.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
about
I don't know.
that.
Well,
What-
part of that's just he's a known jerk.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, he's the king of a state.
It's in
No one questions him for anything ever.
Yeah.
But people are starting to get tired of his act a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
They're tired until he wins them another national
Well-
championship. They ain't
well-
exactly pulling funding.
well, no. Like, it was funny because when I watched the video and some people from Alabama kind of commented, they were like, and this dude is, we make minimum wage and we can't we can't feed ourselves. Like, he's making $10 million a year, and minimum wage in the state of Alabama would take them
Right.
653 years to
I got it.
average
But
1
you-
year
But you
of
know
his salary.
You know what we call
of
those
work.
You know what you call those people that made those comments? Auburn fans.
True.
No Alabama fan is complaining.
There is another side
Real
to
talk,
Alabama.
yeah.
I did forget about that. That is a
Those are
very
Auburn fans.
that is a very very true thought. But I felt that it was he does get on people a little bit too much. So that's who I'm unfriending.
Yeah.
You
All right, Dave.
unfriended me.
Who you got this week?
The University of Michigan offense and coaching staff.
Oh, wow.
I just
You got to go in there a lot and unfriend everyone individually.
I'm going to tell you. Wait, that's fine. I'm going to tell you it's going to be a very bad year.
Very bad.
Michigan State is better. Wisconsin is, of course, better.
Ohio State
is better. I mean, Penn State
Penn
is
State
better.
might be.
No, Penn State is. They're all better. It's bad. It's a 500 season would not be shocking to me.
Wow, that bad, huh?
Or at least close to it. They'll be in a bowl game, but it's not going to be a good one. And I mean, at a certain point, they pay an awful lot of money. They get an awful lot of money from Jordan Brand. At a certain point, you have to start seeing results.
They're the American Insurance.
No quarterback development whatsoever.
Soap bowl.
Yeah, some bowl you've never heard of before.
Oh no.
Probably getting
The
worked by
unnamed
some
sports
lesser
show
team.
bowl.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick
shameful.
just got a deal with Nike worth millions for his own
Nice.
own shoes, own jerseys, own shirts, etc. I saw that he had an ad. He basically is the face of the 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign.
Yeah.
Earlier, but they actually just elaborated further, and he gets his own line. So.
And shout out, I saw a picture on social media. If you're the one that did it, I'm not sure who it was. I was scrolling through, and it was a Nike sign, but instead of Nike, it said Jesus, and it said "Did it." Quit stealing. Just make something creative that we can enjoy.
I mean, if you're gonna steal, be funny.
I didn't post that.
No, you didn't. It was somebody. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm like,
okay.
make some other clothing.
Yeah.
But hey, that shout out to Kaepernick. Get paid. You don't have to play. You don't have to play to pay to get paid. And
No, he's gonna get paid in that lawsuit down the road.
Yes.
It's not
that
NFL's
looks
gonna
like,
be paying money on that one.
That looks like that's about to be a $80 to $100 million settlement.
Well, I mean, these guys, for all their money, a lot of them say stupid stuff that makes it very clear that there's collusion.
Yeah.
So,
and shout out to Marcus Marshall for being here. He did have to bounce out early, but we wanted to play some of his music. We'll get him back in the studio this season, definitely. And just giving us some insight on even Brandon Marshall doing some stuff in Denver and giving us there's more to the story than the headline. And you guys have to realize that. Quit jumping on the headlines. Quit jumping on what the media is trying to expose us to, trying to divide us through racial tension, through class tension, and all that. Dig deeper into the stories before you just share them, before you jump on someone's social media, before you jump on, an actor that you might like and just start backing people up. Dig deeper into what's really going on. Dig deeper into the story. You're only seeing a piece of someone's life. And the media only shows you what they want to show you. So dig deeper, be smarter, be above what the media is trying to, train you guys to be. So that's all I got to say about that. But we will be here every Thursday, 2 or 4. 4 p.m. show is kind of nice, but 2 or 4.
It'll be tougher when Monday Night Football starts.
Monday night?
Yeah.
Oh, but he's saying we did it on Tuesday, though.
Well, Thursday. It's going to be Monday and Thursday.
We
might be doing live remotes on Sunday. So if we do a live remote on Sunday, we won't be doing the Monday show.
You claim that. We're going to be doing that.
Yeah. But even that, Monday Night Football starts, 5:30? So we'd be starting at 4. So that is going into us going downstairs to watch Monday night. So that's kind of the idea I have with that. And same thing with Thursday. We'll do the show at, I believe, 2 o'clock on Thursdays. NBA will be starting soon, so we'll be able to, still catch Thursday night games. You hate the NBA.
Back to NBA.
You hate the NBA.
I couldn't get 5 minutes of a reprieve.
No one to love.
Bro, you got a whole entire show where we didn't really talk about the NBA. We did not have an NBA segment.
That's good
at all.
That's good. It's the off season.
Progress is progress.
There's so many more
sports. There's no off season in the NBA.
No, but there's so many more sports.
Like what?
Right now is a Grand Slam in tennis. This is time to talk about it.
Who's winning? We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that Thursday. We'll give Josh his airtime and his 75 plus 100 push-ups.
He only got 25 out of the way.
It's fine. I'll knock him out.
No, you're going to knock out 25 off air right now. So make sure you download the Guerilla Cross app. Tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Brand new show starting right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. My man Goose and Dre Bailey. going to be doing Let the Ball Bounce. They're moving over networks. They've been doing it for a while. So they're moving to the Guerilla Cross Network. We have other shows starting up as well. So it's going to be a dope year for us here at Guerilla Cross and doing a lot of sports stuff, more live remotes, all that stuff. So make sure you stay tuned. Download the free Guerilla Cross app. Follow us on all social media at Guerilla Cross. And we will see you on Thursday. And make sure you follow us at Unnamed Sports Show on Facebook. So get that, and we will be, I can't play much of this song.
Yeah. I'm just going to write down.